Well, hello, I believe we're live.
Yay!
Yes, we are.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first ever stream of the Atlaran Adventuring Company. I'm the Dungeon Master, Taiylor Wallace, and joining me are Blake Wolfe and Alicia Kelley. This is going to be a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign with probably a lot of shenanigans. Atlaran is a homebrew world about 6 years in the works, with a lot of elements taken from pieces of base settings and from DMs I love, like Matt Mercer, Mark Humes, and so on. I hope you enjoy as we adventure forth. If you like the stream, please subscribe and follow us on Twitter. That's Atlaran, ADVCO. Atlaran is ATLARAN. And you can also follow each of us on Twitter. Mine is at Taiylor Wallace, Taiylor. It's spelled weird. And then we have Blake, who is Blake R. Wolfe with an E on the end. Mm-hmm. And we have Alicia, which your current Twitter handle is
Weeshface.
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 Yeah. All right.
If you guys want to, you can also click down below. There is a live feed of our Twitter feed right there. And also a link to our YouTube channel where these videos will be going up every Wednesday, along with a podcast, which we'll get a link for later.
Fantastic. All right. So we do have an intro video to start you out with, and we'll get into a little more of the story and the world and the lore. You can also follow the Twitter feed to get lore tidbits that pop up every so often. So Blake, if you would like to play the intro.
My name's Kit, and I guess I have to tell you about myself. I really don't want to, but Sylfie is threatening my life again. I was born in Amnoblin as an Elusir. The tribes of the Elusir are born with special gifts that come of age as they do, granting them powers like that of their totem. Before I was old enough to choose a totem, though, the skull of the nearby city attacked us, destroying our small village and killing many of our elders, including my parents. Those who didn't fight or run fast enough were captured as slaves. With just a few elders and my younger brother, we boarded a ship to carry us south to Erisholm, a land of hot and sandy terrain. Once there, we immediately left the city and struck out into the Badlands to create a space away from all the untrustworthy Skull who called us dirty names like skinwalkers. As I came of age in that environment, I found the local coyote population called to me. Hearing their solitary cries at night echoing across the Badlands, I knew they were the ones. I'd already become a loner, and the coyote totem set me further apart as I took on my shifter powers. With fur sprouting in odd places, a set of dog-like ears, and claws, I stuck out easily amongst the Skull whenever I visited town to play tricks on them, just like the god Savros would want me to. I thrived in the chaos I created for normal people. They didn't deserve their cushy lives built on the slave labor of my people and others. At 17, I began taking jobs in Port Saris with the wrong sorts of people. But they paid the best, so maybe they were the right sort of people. I didn't care. As long as I could bring home some money to my tribe and my younger brother, that's all I cared about. I started stealing, hurting people, doing whatever was necessary to make a name for myself. That's when I met Dana, the Vixu. Somehow, I came to like her, and we were actually friends. Not that I didn't try my hardest to avoid that. Anyway, Dana eventually went straight for some reason and joined the Wardens. I wasn't interested in such work, but her methods were usually less than legal, and she always threw in bonuses for a job well done. I spent 2 years doing that, and then, just a month after my 19th birthday, Dana reached out to me. Some idiot had killed a couple of people in town and was planning on more, and he was part of the Arbiters. I didn't tell Dana why, but I eagerly took the job. Anyone involved in the slave trade has a face that needs to be melted off.
Sylvia Phelan here, Sylfie to my friends. Listen, whatever Kit may have told you about me, it was complete lies, so forget absolutely everything he said. As a matter of fact, you may know me as Sylfie Altera, but I gave up that name fairly recently. Why? It's a bit of a long story. I was born without a family name, living as a street urchin in the unforgiving streets of the city of Morsrest. Hunger and desperation were my early childhood friends. The only companion I ever had was Marin, my older sister. I'm still not quite sure whether we were biologically related, but the trials and tribulations we experienced as starving children forged our bond as sisters that was as strong as iron. Wherever Marin went, I gladly followed. It was from Marin that I learned to play lute, and a casual hobby became a source of income for us. For a good enough performance, even the rapscallions of Morsrest would gift 2 talented young ladies with a few coins or a hot meal. It was from these street performances that we attracted the attention of one Alistair Altera and his wife Wedna, and he took us in to give us a roof over our head and a belly full of food each night. At first, I was delighted to be finally part of a proper family. With Alistair and Wedna and our 2 adoptive brothers, Redner and Flynn, we made a scrappy family of cheats and hustlers, willing to do whatever it took to survive. It wasn't much, it wasn't loving, but it was more than I could have ever dreamed of. The innocuous thieving and swindling soon turned sour, though, as Alistair made friends with the insidious Arbiters, the intricate band of pirates and thieves that run Morsrest. Soon, our jobs turned from petty theft to murder for hire. Anyone that the Arbiters deemed unworthy of keeping around, my siblings and I would be tasked with taking out. At the ripe young age of 14, I was a seasoned assassin, using persuasion and charm to lure men into a false sense of security before delivering a most cruel message. My body count only stopped at 4, but I was complicit in many others. It was Marin that suffered the most out of any of my siblings. She was responsible for the deaths of at least 10. Those were all the ones that I knew of, anyway. It was the night of another assignment from Alistair that everything changed. We were all given the task of tracking down another unfortunate soul, which we all silently resigned ourselves to. Except, to my astonishment, Marin. She refused. Up until then, I didn't even know such a thing was possible. But Alistair's face soon grew dark, and with only a few words of command from him, Redner and Flynn wasted no time in forcing Marin on her knees and slitting her throat, mere feet away from me. My entire world collapsed around me, and though I accepted the hit job so as not to incur the same wrath from Alistair that my sister received, I slid away from my brothers and off into the night, leaving my treacherous life as a hired knife behind me. Even as I fled, though, the list began forming. I knew that my life's new mission would be to hunt down all of the Alteras and make sure they saw a swift, bloody end. Hell, I'd include every Arbiter I could get my hands on with them. So you can see how I might not be the biggest fan of the name I was given. How, you may ask, did I come upon the name Phelan? Well, that's another story entirely.
And so we have our unheroic troubled travelers, one born with the ancient magics of the Elusir totems, and one only just tapping the primal arcane at the behest of a fickle sea titan. But the story doesn't begin with Kit and Sylfie at all. It begins with Jax, a lonely tabaxi forsaken by the wild mother Melora, who cast himself into the sea after losing everything. When he woke, a whalebone ring had appeared on his hand, unremovable. Unable to die, Jax wandered far until he landed in Amnoblin, taking odd jobs. Doing much the same to make ends meet was Sylphia Altera, and also wandering was Aether of Rhyme, taking time away from the Annika Academy to see the world. The 3 met by happenstance on the day of the new year, the spring equinox that also happened to be the 200th anniversary of the Calamity. The ancient city of Seeger-Reafir was hosting a World's Fair, showcasing the best and brightest of artists and inventors, including the famed Dr. Jessasan's new coal-powered airship, the Kestrel. Pulled into the job by the welcome of the local Caskers gang, the 3 travelers were tasked with protecting the ship in its maiden voyage. Trouble was expected, and trouble was had. The crew barely survived the flight, nearly crashing into the city but managing to land in the water, leading to the arrest of almost everyone on board for suspicion of sabotage. Needless to say, bars didn't hold the new party long when they had a mysterious druid on their side, and they quickly headed for the opposite side of town to escape. Eventually, disliking the cold north, the party traveled south to Erisholm and Port Saris, where they quickly found trouble again. They were caught up between Sylfie's hunt for her murderous adopted brothers who'd been complicit in her sister's murder, and a heist put on by a local crime lord that wardens were keen to catch. Between some fetching of illegal goods for the famous enchanter Lysander Courage, and the fake heist put on by Captain Danafioris of the Wardens to catch the crime lord Tomo, the party made good coin and managed not to hurt too many people that were undeserving, though they did learn just how dangerous the sleep spell could be. Along the way, Sylfie caught up to her brother Flynn with some help from a Casker privateer named Rhea Espios, but due to Jax's wild magic and an errant sleep spell from Aether, he and Aether were suddenly killed. Unable to go on alone, Sylfie went to Dana for help and was granted 2 new allies. Kit, an Elusir from Amnoblin with a bad attitude and the ability to take on physical traits of a coyote, and Corvrin, a dragonborn warden from Lochmanos with a gruff and stubborn personality but a need for justice. With further help from Maria, Sylfie managed to catch Flynn unaware enough to slaughter him at his most vulnerable moment. Despite her new comrade, Sylfie felt alone, even with Jax's giant coyote friend and Aether's Martin familiar. The 3 followed Redner to Haras, and along the way Sylfie came face to face with surging magic by donning Jax's ring, till she learned it was the gift of the sea titan and whale mother Taldunost. Seeking any help she could get and an end to the insane magical surges, Sylfie pledged herself to the whale mother. Arriving in Port Nataline, Redner was finally caught and killed at a party held by the local Casker leaders, and while Alistair and Wedna Altera were next on the party's list, they came face to face with the quiet underground operations of the Arbiters and Haras, and a drow named Kellogg Marta. Raiding his haberdashery for information while Corvin worked with the Wardens, Kit and Sylfie came in contact with a cat and a canary that couldn't be killed. The pair were haunted by the animals, even as they fled the shop and set it ablaze. They had to seek spiritual help at local temples to begin to understand that these were not animals, but demons, locked in domestic forms as servants to Kellogg. They freed both in exchange for information, and broke up a slave auction, but never caught Kellogg. He was likely headed for the Arbiter stronghold of Morsrest. Hearing of Alistair in Midcord 10 days away by ship, the party made for the heart of the shattered continent and arrived just in time for the summer solstice celebrations. Among snooping around, finding great food, bothering an egg roll vendor, and meeting a fantastic traveling circus known as the Phelan Caravan, Sylfie found a little confidence and got desperately needed unconditional love from the caravan whose members accepted her like family. And Kit too, if you wanted. They knew of the Alteras and were enemies of one of Alistair's finest killers, a drow werewolf named Vinrith Courser. Accepting Sylfie into the fold and giving her their big family's name, the caravan welcomed the pair to stay with them. But the night of the summer solstice, amid a big show, Vinrith Courser struck fear into the guests, and many were hurt with one killed, before the caravan's allies and the party engaged him and his fellow werewolves. Unable to catch and kill Courser, Kit and Sylfie were left devastated by the death of Jax's pet coyote, who'd become Kit's beloved ward. And while Kit only saw more reason to fight, Sylfie nearly gave in to despair. And then Alistair himself reached out to the pair, seeking a parley with Sylfie. He wanted his wife Wedna dead, who'd left him to become the lover of Cynthia Moore, the mother of the new king of the Arbiters, Silas Moore III. And that's where our story continues. Oh, and you might wonder where Corvin is. Well, Kit and Sylfie took off without him, and he's trying to catch up, so we'll see if he ever does. In the meantime, welcome to the Atlaran Adventuring Company, and the ragtag crew that might just one day be something more than thieves and blades for hire. Maybe. All right. Awesome. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun for the first time as we figure everything out. I had a lot to say. All right. But anyway, welcome back. Now, we're going to just jump right in here. As of last time, you guys, as you heard sort of from the end of the intro, the crew met up with Alistair Altera in Midcord, and he offered Sylfie's lost sister Marin in exchange for the death of Wedna. Deciding to take on this new task, fulfill another promise to a particular sea god along the way, the group located Captain Ziegler with help of the Phelan Caravan and boarded his ship, the Raven, with a new friend, Bulwark, a just absolute titanic mountain of a bugbear who talks too much and is very friendly.
He's adorable.
So I believe where we left off specifically was it was evening and you guys were setting off from Port Midcourt. So why don't we start up in the morning, where each of you wake up in your own cabins below decks on this massive ship.
We're on a boat?
We're on a boat.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Do I have to wake up? Am I allowed to just continue to sleep?
I mean, eventually you do have to wake
For
up.
the whole journey.
The whole journey. Should I do ascending spell every day? I can do 3
Oh
now.
my god, we
Don't
already
post
did
yesterday.
that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But yes, what would each of you like to do as you wake up?
How many days is it going to take us to get to the next place?
To Erisholm is going to be 2 days. In fact, let me grab the Haras map here.
Okay.
And I previously made a little line here to show you guys' travel. If you zoom in around Midcourt there, Erisholm is about 2 days of sailing away on the Raven. And then it should be another, probably about 6 or 7 days to get near Greensmarch, though you guys don't know if you'll be able to actually get there, considering you've heard that the island is surrounded by perpetual hurricanes. But it should take a grand total of around 11 days to get to the point of Enoch Island.
Okay. That's not that bad.
Which is about here.
Okay.
And that's where we have to dump the bucket.
Yeah,
The magical bucket.
Just
You-
for
okay.
anybody who has no idea what we're talking about, Sylfie is involved with a particular sea god by the name of Taiylor, who one of her best sort of offerings from sailors is fresh water. You give barrels of fresh water while you're out at sea. And Sylfie promised like 10. But you guys have a magical bucket that endlessly
Sure do.
creates water, because I didn't think about the consequences of that magical item.
Yeah.
Atlaran is going to be water level.
Boy.
Yeah, that's definitely
In like
what
1,000
that
years.
In 1,000 years, Atlaran will be the worst part of Mario.
Yep.
Oh god. Do you have the bucket? I think I gave the bucket to you. I gave the bucket. I don't have the bucket either.
I do have the enchanted
Okay.
bucket.
All right. Good.
I need to check my inventory.
Okay. Good. All right. So I guess I'll start my day. I'm just gonna send out.
Exercising.
Yeah. No. I have magically imbued strength, thank you, as a Bard-Paladin, so I don't need to work out.
Oh.
I got this all by myself.
For mechanical purposes, your strength can't drop below 13. So, yeah. I guess.
So I don't need to. There we go. I guess I'm gonna wake up and I'm just going to like maybe do some stretches, not exercises, but do some stretches. Yeah, like some cat stretches.
Stoutness exercises.
Yeah. And I'm gonna do my daily ritual of I'm gonna try and make it daily now of like sending out the good vibes to Whale Mom, just being like, hey,
Wave vibes.
yeah, just kind of like,
All
hey,
right.
Whale Mom, it's
Hey, Whale
yeah,
Mom, thinking
vibes.
of you,
Yep.
ASL.
Yep.
Oh god, these references aren't going to make any sense.
No, they will eventually.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Kit, what are you doing as you wake up?
Well, since Kit has nobody to take care of anymore, I
Oh
guess,
god! Oh, no.
I guess Kit's going to. What would Kit do? I would need that on a bracelet.
WWKD.
Kit is going to just come up to the top deck and just find kind of a shady spot to hang out.
Okay.
And I do want to cast Sending.
Of course you do.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to Carol.
Oh.
Well,
Carol,
okay.
who is the son of Mary and Malmek Anakalatai over in Port Nataline, whom you flirted with and threw axes with.
Yes, and he's asked me on a date last time we talked, so we need to talk again.
Okay. What will you say?
All right, 25 words. Here we go. Hi, Carol. I haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to say hi, and you're super cute.
Aw.
Okay. This is an interesting side of Kit. All right.
Yeah.
There's a pause for a moment as it's not early in the morning, but he's probably doing something. And as his voice comes in, he sounds like he's kind of like out of breath, like he's in the middle of working. And he says, "Oh, hey, Kit. It's honestly really nice to hear from you. Thanks. And if I'm on my way back to Port Bedrick, so if you're ever there." And that's it.
Where's that?
Where the hell is Port Bedrick?
Port Bedrick is north of Port Nataline and west of Midcord.
Okay. I'm going to...
It's right here.
Oh,
Gotcha.
there it is. I see.
I'm going to cast Sending again to respond to him. I'm going to say... It's good to hear from you too. Would you like to come join us? We're heading to Enoch and then to Morsrest. Wanna go?
Okay. Man, I gotta think about this.
I like how you just invited another party member just to get a booty call.
Well,
yeah.
Boy's got needs.
He considers for a moment before he answers. Well, I'm kind of in charge of some things in Port Bedrick, but Enoch, that's a long way.
Okay.
I would love to, but I have responsibilities, and that's it.
I'm not gonna respond.
Okay.
Nope.
Wow.
We're gonna leave him hanging.
All right.
Rude asshole.
Left him on red.
While you're listening to the reply, you become aware that your spot just got a little shadier as someone has walked up beside you.
That's probably Sylfie. It's shade. It's probably Sylfie.
No, it's a mountain of a bugbear.
It's
you see Bull standing there with the stupid grin on his tusky face, and it's just like, "Good morning."
Hi. Do you need something?
No, I just thought I'd say good morning.
Well, good morning. Yeah.
Okay. And he just like walks away really awkwardly to go find Sylfie.
I'm actually gonna come up to to Kit.
Oh,
yeah.
So you see Bull there
I
as he
saw
like
it.
awkwardly walks away. He's like, "Good morning, Sylfie.
Oh, good morning, Bull.
How are you?"
Good. Tired. Little
Really?
seasick. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Well, it's fine. It's kind of like when you get to be, an adult, you're just kind of tired all the time.
Well, I'm
Oh.
30.
So-
I feel like I feel like you're a different kind of adult.
I mean, so I am like 24, but I've been aged up like a decade. I really need to get that fixed. But
Kid kind of calls from the back. He's like, "She's no bitch."
And
Anyway.
Bull looks, and he's like, "Well, that's not very nice."
it's just Kid, don't mind him. Yeah, but it's fine. I'll be fine. I'm tired all the time, but it's fine. I just still keep going, and it's great. It's wonderful.
Well, if you need more energy, I do like a lot of morning workouts. If you ever want to, the more you move, the more energy you have.
I will take a rain check on that.
Okay, well,
So that's a very good
I'm gonna go on a
suggestion.
run, and he starts like running along the entire ship, like in circles. It's a big ship, so there's like
Yeah, I was
distance,
about
but
to
god damn it,
say.
is it annoying?
Can
Oh
we?
boy.
Doesn't he weigh like 700 pounds? Like, can't we hear
He's
him
not
like
that
thunking?
big. He's
I'm assuming he's a
bugbear.
Bigfoot.
He's like what did I say? Like 7 feet tall. So he's probably like 250 pounds,
Oh, he's skinny. Okay.
and maybe a little bit more for all that insane amount of muscle.
Huh.
Yeah. I walk
Yeah.
over to Kit, and I go, "You really need to like get him a little more like socially stimulated before I come in, because I'm not a morning person."
Can he like maybe socially stimulate himself with someone else before noon?
I think he just likes to socially stimulate with everybody. So
Stop saying that word.
Somebody else, please, God.
I know he means well.
That's wonderful.
So game plan.
Okay,
You have the bucket. Yes.
I do. Have
Okay.
The bucket.
I know it's going to take us like 11 days to get there, but
11 days.
God. But we should probably just like, all right, we get to Enoch Island, we go to this temple thing. Is it a temple? Is it what was it again?
I don't know. It's your God.
Just to give you a quick reminder, because it has been a while since we talked
Yeah.
about it. The place on Enoch Island that you're going to is a shrine on the point, where basically sailors stop through and give offerings with the belief that if they don't, Taldanast will drag their ship down for sailing around the Greenhall Sea.
Right. So we go there, and tip the bucket over,
Mhm.
let it go. RIP bucket. I guess we don't have a bucket after that.
Yeah,
Not that we were using a lot anyway.
that's true.
And then we go to Morsrest and
Okay.
kill people.
I mean, that's a pretty solid plan.
It's great.
Okay. Do we want to stop anywhere on the way, or?
Well, all right. So we might not be able to stop in Green's March because hurricanes everywhere.
I figured we're gonna go around that one.
Yeah. Was there something in Wick Upon Pine? I remember, DM, you were talking about that.
Wick Upon Pine is sort of it's sort of the last free city-state before you get into the Arbiters territory. They pretty much own the Southwick Islands and Aden and everything south of that, all the way down to Old Cradleport.
Okay.
So, it's kind of the edge of the safe zone, if there is a safe zone.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
So
yes.
maybe we could stop there. I mean, I don't know if we'd necessarily need to. It might it doesn't have like all the arbiters in the world like other places that we're going to might. So
Okay. Maybe we should stop it. Does anybody live in Enoch?
Yes, there are people who have lived in Enoch since the Calamity who are kind of strange from what you've heard.
Sounds like everybody else.
Strange in that they're rumored to all be merfolk.
Ooh.
Arr.
Go
Amphibious
get a merfolk.
merfolk.
Oh, that's a little more weird. Okay.
Well, there's a few different type of water folks. There's Tritons who are amphibious. There's your typical merfolk who are not. There's Sirens who are a separate group. There's Marrow who are a monster type of people. And then you don't know what the people on Enoch are.
Okay.
Well.
Whale?
Don't do this, please.
Oh no, you know it's going to keep happening.
That's too bad. It's whale.
Whale. So I guess we could try just to maybe go to Wick Upon Pine before we get to Morsrest
Mm-hmm.
and see, I don't know, get supplies or just kind of faff about. I wouldn't want to faff too much, but
Faff about.
yeah.
It's a British word.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a word.
We can faff as much as you want to.
Okay, well, I don't want to faff that much.
Okay.
Like
Stop
you have
this.
you have to limit your faffing. Otherwise you could get addicted to it, and then it's like
no.
hairy palms, all that
Oh,
stuff.
You guys,
Uh,
knock it off.
Faffing all day long.
Yeah. So
Embarrassing me in front of the internet.
Nah, you're fine.
I'm embarrassing myself in front of the internet. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we'll do that, but. Alistair didn't give me any time frame on when he needed it done or anything like that, and he made it clear that he would find me after I did what I needed to do.
Okay.
So.
Do we know where the captain is on this ship?
Captain Ziegler?
Oh yeah, Captain Ziegler.
Yeah. The
guy I stopped from getting laid last time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
He is currently at the helm of the ship. He's not actually steering. He's standing beside the navigator. Just they're looking over
The driver.
the navigator.
I know.
So on this ship, let me describe it a little bit for you because DAW ships are a little weird. They're essentially the size of freighters, with between, depending on how big they are, between 6 and 12 masts. This particular one has about 9, so it's a mid-sized DAW.
Mm-hmm.
And it's big enough to the point that over the wheel, in sort of the stern raised castle of the ship, they actually have a canopy over it so that they can keep off rain if need be, but it's sort of streamlined so wind won't catch it too badly. At the moment, you guys are at full sail with a easterly wind headed north. I'm learning
Winds
my
in the
nautical
east?
terms. What?
Is there mist coming in?
No.
Is something brewing? Maybe about to begin?
No, thank you.
What?
Um,
I think I missed that one.
She
Mary
said winds in
Poppins.
the east, and so I immediately went to Mary Poppins.
It's in the east.
Oh, okay.
It's coming in.
Nope.
Like something is brewing. about to-
Copyright. No.
Let's be real. Without the bad English accent, nobody will know.
That's true.
True.
But yes, you're heading north. That wasn't what I was on about. I was on about the ship. But
Yep.
yes, Captain Ziegler is up on the forecastle There's a map table set up underneath the canopy there, and he's just talking with the navigator and a couple other ship's officers, planning out the rest of their voyage beyond Erisholm.
Okay. Oh, yes, I was going to talk
Yeah,
to
that's
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm sorry, my cat showed up and I got very distracted.
Is he lemur jumping again?
No, he's not. He's just being annoying. So, yes, I want to go up to Captain Ziegler.
Yeah. And so he's this handsome Goliath man who wears a way too big hat with a big feather out of it and a double-breasted Navy captain's coat. And he doesn't have his hat on at this moment. It's sitting on the table, and he's using a little, one of those little paper compasses to chart out the course.
Oh.
Not
Okay.
not a compass that points north.
I know what you mean now.
Math
Sorry.
compass.
Yeah, it's been a long time since math class.
Yeah. He's using a protractor to calculate the angle. No, that'd be more of a sextant. Never mind.
Oh my god.
But yeah, just planning things out, and as you approach, the other ship officers glance at you, don't pay you much mind, but Ziegler stands up and turns toward you, and he says, "Well, good morning. How can I help everybody?"
Hi, good morning. So, question.
Yeah.
Do we have to worry about being attacked by any weird sea creatures on the way, or...
Well, nothing we can't handle.
Okay. I just wondered if there's anything in particular in these waters, since this is where the calamity happened.
Well, at the moment, we're not out in the open Greenhall Sea. We're currently traveling through the Cannonsborough Straits. We're
that's
pretty safe here. These are water marshal controlled waters. Most we'll see is tritons, maybe the occasional marrow if they're really set on causing trouble, but I'm not too worried in this particular area. Around Green's March, we might, or Ambro, the island of Ambro, we may need to go wide of the island depending on how fierce the hurricanes are there, just for safety's sake, and that's the point where we might have some trouble with marrow and sirens, but we've got some things on board to help with those. But then past there, it's pretty wild waters, but as long as we stay close to land, it shouldn't be too bad.
Okay. All right. Well, how long until we get to the next port?
And he glances down at the map and says,
Erisholm.
"Well, since we sailed through the night, I imagine we should be there at probably noon tomorrow."
Okay. Do we have a layover? Is there a layover scheduled?
I mean, you folks are the ones traveling beyond Erisholm, so layover's up to you. You just have to pay for it if we stay too long.
Sylfie!
What?
Come here.
Okay. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. Hello.
Do we need to stop over in Erisholm for anything?
No. I mean, why would we need to?
I don't know. If there's something we need to do, if there's somebody else there you need to murder.
I'm not just like a murder machine or
Well.
anything. I have feelings. I'm like a person.
Not anymore.
Wow. Rude. No, I'm fine. Nobody that I need to murder in Erisholm that I remember.
Would Kit know anything about Erisholm? Like what goes on there?
Erisholm is it is a piece of a city that the Isles are named for, Cannonsborough. It was once the sort of center of halfling civilization in the world.
Okay.
But it's only a portion of that city. The rest of it is sunk and destroyed after the calamity. A lot of halflings there. Generally, most people overlook Erisholm because it's just a port and farming community. Make some of the best beer in the world there, but
No.
otherwise it's pretty non-consequential.
Kit doesn't drink, so
I mean, it also
Cares.
has really good Harasian food
Has
because
really good apple sauce.
halflings.
Sauce.
They're known for cooking and brewing.
Yeah. Cooking and brewing.
Sylfie does lean in and go, I hear they have wonderful applesauce.
Oh.
Plain and chunky. And those are all the kinds of applesauce that I know.
Is it?
Yeah. But I hear it's
Also
great.
Cinnamon, strawberry, peach.
Sure. Yeah.
Peach
It's great.
sauce.
No, peach applesauce.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Okay.
I have some.
I believe you. So do we want to stop there and like get anything?
I mean,
Or
it
go
sounds like
faff about?
it sounds like you want to stop there.
I just don't know if we should.
It depends on how long we stay there. If we stay there a day, sure. If we are going to stay there any longer, then I might be like, oh, it's not.
Okay. Maybe we
And,
should. Well, I know we had talked about seeing if we could find maybe some odd jobs on the way, just because I've spent all my gold on diamonds.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Captain Ziegler pipes up and says, well, we are stopping to drop off a couple passengers there. Beyond Erisholm, unless there's somebody who wants to get on there, you guys are going to be the only real passengers except for cargo going to Wake Upon Pine. So if you want to do something there, that's fine. But gonna have to pay for the lost time. We should be there for about 2 hours.
I'm sure Sylfie can afford to pay for the lost time.
I'm sure Sylfie wouldn't want to pay for the lost time. But I can, I guess.
When we're
I
there for a
guess.
couple hours, why don't we stop and see what's going on? If there's nothing going on, we'll leave.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. To
Only
Erisholm.
because I don't want to have to pay for all of your shit anymore.
I only have 16 gold.
Oh my god! How much diamonds did you buy?
I have 600 gold worth of diamonds.
Okay. Never mind. I'm not even having this discussion with you.
My
Okay.
jingle jangle pocket.
Yeah. Great. I'm glad your pocket jingles.
It does. I don't even know if Kit has pockets. Probably not.
I just glanced at chat.
Oh.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Let's not watch that anymore. Alright. So anyway, yes. Anything else you guys need to do or plan as you go along?
I don't have anything to do on the boat. Well, I don't want to cause too much mischief.
Aren't you a trickster cleric?
Yeah, but like, I also don't want to get kicked off the only boat that's going to take us to the shittiest place on this entire continent.
That's very true.
You know what? Maybe I will work out a little bit.
Bull is still running around
Oh my
the
god.
ship.
I'll just kind of wave, flag him down.
Thump, 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 thump.
Hello,
Yeah.
Bull.
And he slows down and comes jogging over to you. He's like, yeah.
Hey, do you want a jogging buddy?
Yeah, that'd be really great. Come on. And he just takes
Okay.
off again.
Okay, I'll jog beside
Thump,
him.
thump,
God.
thump, thump.
Is this like a Captain America situation where he keeps lapping me like on your left the
Oh
whole
no,
time?
he paces with you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I was about to say Sylfie, I don't think is like an endurance runner. She's kind of like,
Probably not.
yeah.
No,
So-
Bull is. He makes up for the lack of speed by just jogging in place a lot, or like doing like knee to chest like kick ups to. Yeah.
Is Bull a jock? Is he like a super jock?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
He's more of a bodybuilder. No, not a
Okay.
bodybuilder, more of a strongman.
Okay. Oh, so he's a himbo.
That is exactly.
He is
what
100% a
Perfect.
himbo.
He's so yes.
Great.
He is, as my friend Jalen puts it, pure of heart, dumb of ass.
Yes.
Yes.
That's in my Twitter bio. Check me out on Twitter. That is actually in my Twitter bio.
It really is.
I did not know that.
That is your whole Twitter bio.
It is. Well, and my pronouns and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, that.
Who cares about that? I do. Pronouns are great. So as I'm running beside Bull, I guess I'll just be like, so, I don't know if we've, okay. Oh, I'm getting, it's hard to talk and run at the same time. Yeah. So
Who are you? What's your name?
So, God, now I can't even focus. What was I even going to ask? So I haven't really talked to you very much about your own experiences with the caravan. How did you come to meet them?
Oh well, I think we mentioned it before. I used to be a pit fighter, and it was really all I knew how to do. So, kind of a gladiator, I guess you could say. I'm from Erisholm, where pit fighting isn't really legal, but it was the only thing I was good at, so it was how I made my money. And that was where I met my mum. She's not really my mum, but like
Your adoptive mom.
yeah,
Like,
that kind of. She started out as my trainer after I won a few fights, and she was a really good fighter too. In the ring, we each had like our own special names. So like we just called me Bull because it worked, and why not? And she's a human fighter, so everybody called her the Hare because she was so fast. She could literally run circles around me. It was
hair like a rabbit, not like.
What?
It's okay. Got it.
I think I think he didn't know which kind of hair it was. Hare.
No, I'm sure Bull still doesn't know what kind of hair they meant. But yeah, she was really good, and then eventually she got hurt, and she had to retire. So I kept fighting to support her, and then eventually the Phelan caravan came to town when I was like 21 or so. I was a pit fighter since I was like 15, and they thought I was really good, and they wanted to teach me like stage fighting, just because they needed somebody to take another person's place who couldn't do it anymore. So I did that with them for a couple shows in Kelley Harbor, and they really liked it, so they offered for me to travel with them. But I didn't really want to leave Irina behind, so they told me they send money back to her on my behalf, and so I've been traveling with them ever since. Almost a decade now.
Wow. Yeah, I mean they're really good about that, like sending money and taking care of people like us.
Yeah.
So
I honestly make more money working with them, even though there's so many of them and so many people to share money among. I make more with them and take better care of Irina than I ever did as a pit fighter, so I'm pretty happy with it. And we usually visit every 1 or 2 years, so I see her again. Of course, we kind of caused some trouble. They kind of caused some trouble. I wasn't with them yet, about 25 years ago in Kelley, so sometimes it's hard to visit. They still don't really like us there.
I can understand that. You know, I actually have a friend who's from Erisholm.
Yeah.
Or he was from Erisholm. Yeah.
Was?
Yeah, it was. He isn't around anymore.
Oh.
There was an accident, and he's not around. So, yeah.
Well, and you can see it makes him sad and a tiny bit awkward, but he also is trying to come up with something to say back to you, and he's like, well, I had a friend who's gone too, who used to be in the caravan with me. He was from Garrett Eldathas, and he kind of went out in a cool way, though. He died in a dragon attack down in Constanos.
Damn, that is cool.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing from what other people said. He died trying to keep this building from collapsing. He was a magic user, so he froze the building in place, and he made sure everyone got out before he dropped it. And the last person got out, and they said that the dragon saw him, and so the dragon came up and just bit him, and the building collapsed, but everybody was safe even though he died.
Wow. Sounds like a real hero.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I really miss him, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
What was your friend's name?
His name was Jax.
Jax.
He was a tabaxi.
Jax the Tabaxi. That sounds really cool.
Jax the tabax.
He was really cool.
He was super cool in Kiwi.
He was really cool. I loved him.
He's like, well, my friend didn't have that cool of a name. His name was Martin.
Oh.
Was he a mouse? Oh, okay.
No, there are no mice people in my world yet.
Yeah. Now there is.
Now there is.
Martin the mouse. No, he was he worked at this place called Methon Temple to Erethus, and he's this really smart researcher. But yeah, he wasn't much of a fighter, so.
Neither was Jax. He was a magic user, but not. He wasn't great at it. I don't want to be talking bad about him or anything like that, but that's what got him killed. So it was, yeah, he wasn't great at it. I think I can say that. That's an objective fact, Well,
yeah. It's okay to joke about the dead.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I tell jokes about my real parents all the time.
Okay. I mean, I guess if that's what you're comfortable with, I don't know. It's kind of it's been sort of soon since my friend died, and my other friend as well.
There's a lot of people that think it's kind of sacrilegious to joke about the dead, but I think if you can't sort of enjoy the memories and still poke fun at them, then what's the point?
Yes, you're right. Bull, you might be, I don't know, just gigantic, but you got some brains up there too. It's not just muscles.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty aware of how dumb I am.
Well, I don't think you're so dumb for where I'm standing.
Oh.
So.
Well, I'm really happy in my new sister, so.
No, I
What?
And you know what? I never really had I mean, I did have brothers, but I really didn't like them very much. So I like you. And I will not. No, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. I'm just glad you're here. Yeah. All right. I'm all exercised out, so I'm going to go sit down before I die. Yep. I'm going to pass out.
But we have to do push-ups now.
Tall order.
Come on, you doing leg work, now do arm work. Come on.
Okay,
He like puts his huge hand on your back and like brings you down to the deck, and he starts doing push-ups.
I just lay there. I'm just like splattered on the ground.
And he like looks over at you and like grabs the back of your coat and like lifts you up a little bit. It's like, come on.
Oh no, please.
Just one. Just do one.
All right, I do like really like scrawny armed push up. Yeah.
And he like, instead of having you like put your knees down, he like spots you by holding onto the back of your coat and just like lifts you up a little bit. He's like, okay, and then down. Okay. Okay. And he lets go and lets you.
Yeah. I just kind of lay there for a little bit.
He's like, you know, you look a lot more buff than you actually are.
That's an astute observation.
Is that like bodybuilder muscle instead of like useful muscle?
It's like ancient primordial god muscle.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't know how else to describe it, but
okay.
I'm just gonna take a nap right here if that's okay. You go on without me. It's fine.
And he like stands up and looks down at you, kind of pitying, and he reaches down and just picks you up and goes and puts you in the shade somewhere so you don't burn.
Oh, thank you.
He like puts you in a little corner against the stairs that go up to the foredeck and just sets you there, and he's like, okay, well, recover. We'll do it again tomorrow. And he takes off.
Oh God, we have to do it tomorrow too.
Yep,
oh
tomorrow.
No.
It's gonna be some Bowen Ford up in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'll just kind of sit there for a while and be like.
Just every so often, the quiet.
Yeah.
Comes out of Sylfie.
Yeah. Just a soft.
He ran 2 laps around a boat.
Yeah. Did you know that Sylfie and I have more in common than you might think?
It's okay. I wouldn't even made one. All right. Well.
So while they were doing that, Kit wants to use his last sending spell, but
okay.
While they were running around, I'm going to send a message to Ren.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell him and be like, hey, Ren, did you get the money from Dana that I sent your way? How is everything going? I'm not going to be home for a while.
Okay. So Ren is 15. Okay. You feel the message connect, and you can almost across the distance just like feel Ren perk up. And you hear, "Hey Kit, yeah, we just got it a couple days ago. Everything's pretty okay. I mean, as good as it's gonna get here. We should talk next time you're back down this way. There's a lot of stuff that might be coming up, and that's it.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's all my sending spells, so I'm just gonna leave him on red. Yep. All right. That's what I need to do. Thank you.
Okay. The rest of this particular day of sailing is pretty chill. The crew just goes about their normal business, keeping the ship up. You're sort of it's sort of surprising how a captain like Ziegler, who is so he himself is like well put together, but his manners are super lacking. He keeps a tight ship. Like, the whole place is spick and span. Everybody is expected to wear uniforms, except for passengers, of course. Everybody needs to be have good hygiene. He if he sees one of his men with the jacket open, he will walk up to them, grab them, and rebutton the jacket. He's like, "Look professional, damn it," and he moves on along his way. He is mildly annoyed by Bull running around the ship, but at the same time, he's like, fuck it. He's not getting in anybody's way, and he jumps over the ballistas anytime they'd get in his way. So
God, he's doing hurdles.
Yeah, kind of. But he just lets it go. The rest of the crew is mildly entertained. As evening sets in of your first day of sailing, you do hear a whistle from up in one of the two crow's nests on the top of the second mast toward the bow. And looking up, most of the crew looks up at the same time. You see a elven man up in the crow's nest pointing down to the starboard side, where beneath the waves you can see these blue streaks moving toward the ship.
Oh no. Okay. Can I? So we saw him point?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys want to make perception checks with advantage because you pointed them out, you can.
God, this better not be what I think it is.
Oh boy, I'm glad that was at advantage. 24.
Oh, you said advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
17.
Okay. Looking over the side, Sylfie, you get the idea that these are people and not creatures.
Oh, good.
But Kit, you get a better look and you actually recognize them. These are Tritons. And the blue that you can see is their uniforms of the water marshals. They wear sort of skin-tight suits.
When you said water marshals, I imagined people on boats. I didn't imagine people in the water.
No, wardens are... that's something I should have explained, is wardens are sort of the main force, the on-land, on-ship kind of people. Water marshals are literally people who can breathe underwater. They sometimes have their own base ships that they work from, or bases on islands that are movable, but most of the time they operate in the water itself. Mostly because they're dealing with marrow and sea creatures. So anyway, this little group of 3 is approaching the ship, and Captain Ziegler calls over the deck. He says, "Throw down the ladder, let him on." And one of the crewmen goes over and throws down a rope ladder.
I'd like to go up to Captain Ziegler. Hi, quick question. Anything we need to keep on the DL or anything around these water cops, basically?
Why, do you have something to be guilty about?
No, just I don't know. You know, everyone's got stuff they don't want to talk about, right?
So is that a yes?
Let's call it a maybe. I mean,
well,
I'm sure they're cool with me because I'm an honorary warden in 2 other cities, so
well, then
it should be
you'll
fine.
be fine.
Okay, cool.
And he just walks away from you. Climbing on board, you do see only one of the Tritons actually boards. This one is... Tritons are generally a little bit taller than elves, so this guy stands at about 5'9" or so, which is tall even for them. And he steps up, still dripping water off this skin-tight suit that he wears, and you can see he has a belt around his waist that's covered in different tools, and a net that's wrapped around his waist where it won't catch on anything. And as he steps on, Sylfie, you do recognize that he has a very specific tattoo on the side of his neck that is a ring of the runes that you have on your ring.
Oh no.
But he steps on, sort of slicks his white blue hair back, these long thin ears extending off the sides, and you can see the gills like close on the side of his neck as his lungs come into play. And he says, we weren't expecting the Raven through this way. And he looks over at Ziegler. You can see that they recognize each other. Ziegler walks up and shakes his hand. He says, yeah, we weren't really expecting to come this way either, but we got a charter. Is that going to be an issue? And the water marshal says, no. Just be careful. There's a little increased shark activity in the area lately. It's the time of the season for that. And he glances over everybody who's gathered, and Sylvie, you notice him, Kit, you notice him look at you and kind of get a look like, what is that? Like he doesn't know what you are.
I just glare back at him.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Glances over the rest, and he's like, what's the purpose for your voyage? And Ziegler says, we're heading out to Erisholm and then out to Enoch Island, carrying some cargo, passengers. That's it. And the water marshal nods and says, all right, well, be careful. Watch out for the marrow. Shouldn't be too many in this area, but beyond Green's March, we can't help you.
I go up to the guy who has the ring of runes tattoo on him. And I'm like, thank you so much for keeping the water safe here. I really do appreciate it. My name is Sylfie Phelan, and I hold out my hand with the ring on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And he reaches out to take your hand, and let's see if he notices.
And he rolls a 1 on perception.
Yep.
He goes to reach out to take your hand, and he stops as he sees the ring. Says, Miss Phelan. And he takes your hand in both of his and shakes it. Says, it's a interesting ring and a Phelan.
Yes. Apparently, you can be more than one. I am a multifaceted individual.
And at that, behind you, Bull comes up. He's like, hi, I'm Bull. I'm a Phelan too. And the guy's like, hello. Shakes his hand. Says, where did you come across a ring like that?
Gift from a friend.
All right. And you see him like unconsciously like reach up to rub the side of his neck. Says, just you don't really see many Dulmarig style jewelry on just anybody.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of tattoos on anyone like that either.
Well, I'm actually from Taldanos, the city.
Oh. I have been meaning to make a little swing by out there.
Definitely be worth your while. There's a lot of interesting things to see out there, especially underwater.
Oh, do you guys have like a... I mean, I don't want to assume anything because you're like a fish person, but... you
The
know.
word is Triton, but
Yeah. Is like part of the city like totally underwater then, or?
There is an underwater part of the town, yeah. One that we actually built there. It didn't sink in the calamity. No, the actual interesting part is the reef fields, the coral fields. They extend from the city out to the drop-off.
Wow.
Have you? And he kind of looks at you, wondering why you have this ring and don't know. He says, "Have you ever heard of the Red Dawn?"
Isn't there like some sort of sailor thing with that, like Red Dawn at midnight? No, that's not right.
No.
Red Dawn in the evening.
There's the Red Dawn. There's the prayer. But have you heard of the trench?
No. A Red Dawn trench. That sounds spooky.
It's definitely an interesting place. It has another name, but hold on, I do remember it. He should remember. Let me grab it. Yeah, the Dulmarg have looked at it as sort of the cradle of the Whale Mother for a long time.
So does she have like little babies like shoot out of it and stuff?
Well, no. Merfolk are generally considered her children. But no, it's also known as the Dawn Deep, or Drozdana is what the local people call it. It's weird. It's scientifically, it's a place where new land is formed. But in the local belief of the Geary people and so on, it's not where the Whale Mother sleeps. They believe she sleeps beneath the city of Taldonost, which is why it's named that. It's actually a place where the things that she takes in, the people that she takes in, it's where they reemerge as merfolk.
Oh. Does that happen to like everybody? Like,
not necessarily. Usually, well, going along with the prayer, normally it's drowned sailors.
Oh, okay.
That's why the prayer is, if tonight you send your siren call, may I attend your side swiftly, carried on the bloodline currents, and may a red dawn light my way. What the prayer is asking for is, should they die at sea, may they come back as merfolk.
Okay, so say, hypothetically, I'm like a chosen paladin of Taldonost, and
Very specific?
And I die just like, oh, I'm dead. Would I come back as a mermaid?
I don't know. You'd have to take that up with her.
Okay. That seems to be a lot of everything with Taldonost. It just kind of seems to be like, we'll see. But
well, yeah, she's like the sea, fickle and changeable. And sorry, I don't mean to spew religion at you.
No, it's okay. Please spew. Not really, not literally, just metaphorically spew. I'm okay with metaphorical vomit, but not. Anyway, great talking to you. What was your name again?
Oh God, you had to ask me for a name, didn't you?
His name is Mark.
Jacob.
No.
Flotsam.
Bob.
His name is good Lord, guys. His name is Javier. Javier. Havir.
Oh, Javier. Okay.
It's elven.
Okay.
Because Tritons are elves.
Okay. Well, it was great to meet you, Javier. I'm going to go away now, so I stop embarrassing myself around you.
Sure.
Deuces!
Yeah.
And I walk away.
Yeah. He turns and he talks to Ziegler a little bit longer, sort of like what the area has been like in the past few days. Mostly just warning about shark activity. But nothing you need to worry about as long as you don't go in the water. And he sets off after a couple minutes, dives back into the water, and the water marshals go along their way.
Cool. I didn't even have to flash my little badge, my little warden badge.
Well,
Well,
I suppose.
Well, indeed.
Suppose we should keep on sailing.
yay.
You guys haven't stopped in this entire time.
Well,
You just
yeah, I
slowed
mean, I
down a little
assumed.
bit for them to catch up. But yeah, the day wears on into evening, and you guys head down into the holds to eat and hang around and drink, and eventually head to bed as nothing else exciting really happens. Ball is quickly becoming the lovable idiot of the boat. The crew absolutely adores him, even though Ziegler thinks he's kind of annoying. Need to turn my phone away. It keeps beeping at me. But as evening sets in and you guys are sort of settling in, star watching, or whatever you decide to do, you are getting into the northern parts of Haras, where this could be considered comparable to like mid-Canada,
Okay.
mid to northern Canada. So even though it is summer, it's a little cool outside. It's probably holding at a good like 60 degrees or so. And it's just comfortable at the moment. But what you do notice as it gets properly dark is a little green ribbon goes across the sky.
Yay.
And then another one, and it stays for a moment and fades. And then more of these curtains of green start just fading in and out and waving slowly. The entire crew comes up on deck to watch this happen. And among the crew, you guys have seen there are a couple Dulmarig people. Dulmarig are not just humans of a certain skin color. They're multiple people that all share a similar skin color and generally come from Amnoblin. They're native to it. But you see a lot of Dulmarig people that are part of the crew gathering together, and they start singing just quietly amongst themselves. And Kit, being that you yourself are descended from the Dulmarig, more specifically the Monomar, you know this tradition. It's a tradition that you normally take part in, which is anytime the Northern Lights come out, there are songs and sort of stories shared. The Northern Lights are considered to be the goddess Atlaran's dress as she walks across the sky in your sort of mythology and people's beliefs. Northern Lights are considered a... Oh gosh, my connection going out?
You're good now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good now.
It was
I
just a
noticed
little
my,
delay.
my connection wavering. It's because my music changed over. Just okay. The Northern Lights are also considered, whenever they come out, to be an aid to shifters and Elusir, and also to skinwalkers. But on nights like these, they believe this is when your power becomes more more deeply ingrained in who you are. You almost like the veil gets thinner between you and your totem.
Mm-hmm.
What you decide to do with that is up to you, if anything, but it's sort of special.
Kit seeing all of these, I don't think he's going to join in the singing. He probably remembers it because he would have been old enough, but it's been like over 10 years since he saw these. So when they come out, he's going to walk to the front of the ship and bonus action shift.
Okay. Please describe.
Oh God, I'm so bad at this. Should I howl at the moon or at the...
You're coyote.
So when he walks to the front of the ship, he just grabs a hold of the railing and shifts so that the more fur pops up, the claws extend, the canines elongate, and the ears kind of get a little fluffier and bigger. And he just shifts and holds onto the railing and keeps staring up at the northern lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is... just going to take this and run with it. This is something that a lot of your people do, is shift in the presence of the northern lights. And true that with you having been away from the north, living pretty close to the equator for the past decade, you have not seen these. And it's the first time you've been able to see them in Haras as well, and it's a perfectly clear night. The major thing that comes back to you is, as 8-year-old little Kit, previous to having your totem, whenever the northern lights would come out, your entire family would shift with their totems, and you would take the opportunity to basically play with other totems. These nights were when you could freely choose a totem to experiment with.
Ooh, we're doing some recreational totems, huh?
Yeah. After you choose a totem, you can't change it. But prior to choosing one, on the nights of the Northern Lights, you could pick one to be for the night to see if you liked it. And so you remember ones where you started out with the classics, like the deer, the bear, the wolf.
Oh, we lost you again.
And oh God.
Oh, there we go.
Why?
No, it's fine. I think you're just stopping briefly and then starting back in again.
I don't like it. I'm just gonna shut off the music on my end.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, you started out with all the basic stuff, and while Wolfe was pretty cool, it wasn't quite right.
Mm-hmm.
And you tried a few other canines as well, but none of them really stuck until you got to Erisholm and chose the coyote. So, for the first time ever, you are a coyote beneath the Northern Lights. You are your true self.
I don't know what to do with that.
It's just background.
Okay.
And also, having just spoken to Ren through sending, you don't know what totem he's chosen.
That's true, I don't.
And it kind of makes you wonder if he's still experimenting with them. He's not able to experiment with them with quite as much without the Northern Lights, but yeah, you don't know if he followed in your footsteps like he often did and chose the coyote, or if maybe he chose one of your parents, or if he chose something completely different.
Okay. Good. Well, I'll just enjoy it for my 1 minute that I can shift.
The Northern Lights will allow you to hold it for 2, so have fun.
Oh my God, I'm gonna hold it for
Yay.
2 minutes.
Oh boy.
Woo.
Sylfie.
Yeah, can I? Oh, sorry. go ahead.
Just a quick thing for you. Being from Morsrest, there were rare times that you could see the Northern Lights, kind of like here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
But you've never gotten to see them in like their full clear glory like this. It seems like they're particularly strong tonight, and they came out particularly early.
Okay.
So this is kind of a new experience.
Can I do, the best way I can describe it is a read the room check to see if it would be cool if I played lute along with all of their singing. Because I don't want to be disrespectful.
Make an insight check.
Okay. Well, it's not great. It's an 11.
11. You do notice that it seems to be specifically singing.
Okay.
Nobody else is going to get out instruments.
Well, I will stand in the back then and just kind of like arch my head up and look at the sky and just kind of like bask in like this peace, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've been tasked with a very terrible job, I'm looking forward to it. And I feel this peace that I haven't in a while. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
It lasts for a good while, but eventually everybody just sort of turns in with the last curtains of green in the sky. It goes fairly late, and you guys head to bed for the night. Let's see. Kit, as you doze off, you don't dream terribly often. At least not good dreams.
Okay.
But you've become kind of desensitized to it over time. Tonight you dream, and maybe it's because of talking to Ren, maybe it's because of the Northern Lights bringing back memories, you don't know. But what you do know is that you are 8 years old, and you are watching your parents and some of their friends finish the longhouse, the new longhouse that the village pulled together to make. They're putting the last sort of waterproofed like skins and hides over it that have been treated, and they're tying them all into place. You see some of the village elders around you that are all watching this, and several of them have these little bowls made of bone and shells that have smoke just drifting out of them from burning herbs. And as soon as the last piece is placed at the top of the longhouse, which is this carved piece of driftwood that was very carefully shaped into a oh god, what's it called? Oh god, I lost my memory.
Oh no.
Oh god, I'm gonna panic. No. Shaped into, probably for your people, it's probably a raven. Let's go with that for now.
Okay.
There's a specific bird, but I can't remember what it's called. But a raven sitting at the very top that's sort of suspended next to where the smoke comes out of the top of the longhouse. And as they place that, the elders step inside the longhouse and start bringing these smoking bowls through to cleanse the whole thing before everyone else is let in. At the very center, people start digging out a little fire pit and surrounding it with rocks so it can, so it'll smoke through the hole in the roof. And they start bringing in hand-carved furniture to sit along the walls. It's sort of treated like a community hall. And it also serves as sleeping space for those who may not have their own homes yet, as your people are rebuilding after losing some things in a recent attack by the Skull. Not too extensive, but they did burn down a few of your small, normally portable homes. And stepping inside, you see them place a moose skull right in the middle of the fire pit, and then they bury it and then build the actual fire on top. And you know this is a time-honored tradition of whoever's whatever animals were killed for making the shelter itself. The bigger contributors get their bones like buried under where the structure is going to be built. So under this structure there are tons and tons of skeletons of all of these different creatures, and the moose skull gets placed under the fire. And it's just sort of, it's a happy day because things are getting back to normal. Your family did keep their home in that attack, but a lot of friends of yours didn't. Some people were hurt and are now being moved in here to recover and have a safe place to sleep. But it's met with a lot of celebration. Food is brought out. People start playing music. The few sort of sources of alcohol that your people have, which are mostly wine that are aged in like small barrels, those are brought out, and it's just peaceful. And you remember your little brother Ren toddling around, only 3-4 years old, and your parents trying to keep him in check while also keeping you in check because you're a rambunctious 7-8-year-old. And everything's just normal. And you haven't had normal probably since then. Sylfie.
Oh no. I get one of these too? Oh no!
Dreams.
No.
You make your way into your cabin for the night and just sort of throw your stuff off and flop down on the bed. You're still sore from the jog that morning. You didn't stretch well, so it's like gonna stick with you. You lay back in bed, and as you're starting to drift off, your eyes are still open, but just barely. You notice, like, you think it's a trick of your mind or like a dream starting, but you notice little fish just drifting above your head, not doing anything. It feels pretty dreamlike, so you just dismiss it and eventually close your eyes. And then your vision turns blue. This sort of deep, dark, cerulean color. And you realize you're floating. No bubbles are coming from your mouth. You seem to be able to breathe just fine. But looking up, you don't see a surface. And looking down, you see the blue fade to black. You are suspended in an endless ocean in all directions. There are no land masses. There's no characteristics. There's nothing to look at. Just endless blue and black below. There's no fish. There's no bubbles. There's no coral, no plants. Just you. And beneath you, the darkness goes so deep that you can only fathom that maybe you're in some kind of trench, maybe you're not really sure. And then you feel something before you hear it. This such a deep sound that it begins to vibrate in your guts, before your ears actually register it. This horrifically deep sound that puts thunder to shame. And slowly you begin to hear it too, this long bellow. And the only thing you can compare it to is some deep, massive bugle. And beneath you at first, you think your eyes are playing tricks on you as you think you see a long shape begin to form. And it's so slow and so huge that you cannot comprehend the size, even as it gets closer. You're not sure how far away it is, only that it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you start to make out details. To call it a snake is just plain wrong. But you see this long serpentine body extending into the distance far beyond what your eye can see, miles. And you see these ridges along its back that remind you of broken turtle shells layered into scales almost. And you see this face come out of the darkness, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger until you realize you don't even have a clue as to the scale because it just keeps coming. And you see these long sort of teeth coming up from its bottom jaw, almost like a cage in front of its face, this dragon-like face. And then it starts to remind you of an anglerfish as you see this long antenna coming out with a bright spot at the front of its head. But it doesn't have any eyes. You see these slitted nostrils, and you see these tiny broken scale pieces getting bigger and bigger as it goes down its body. And these long crests and fins coming off of its face. There's a gigantic, pectoral fin every probably 100 or so feet coming off its body, with smaller fins in between that are just moving like centipede legs to carry this creature through the water. And it doesn't seem like it's focused on you. It's just drifting upward until a moment where you just turn your head ever so slightly to watch its tail fade into the distance, and the head just jolts up toward you. Like you've just been locked in the sights of, it's almost spider-like in the sudden movement. And with no eyes, you don't know if it knows you're really there. But what you do know is that all of the fins suddenly push back and the body comes rocketing toward you, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you realize its head is the size of a mountain. And you jolt awake as adrenaline just shoots through your entire body. Your heart is beating so fast that you can't even hear each individual beat. You are ready to flee or fight. You have no idea what time it is. All you know is as you open your eyes, you see a little clownfish disappear.
After I caught my breath, I'm going to bolt out of bed, and I'm going to go to Kit's room and bang on the door.
What?
Wake up! I need you to do something for me.
Oh, God.
Get up! Come on! Bang, 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 bang.
Isn't it in the middle of the night?
You guys
I don't know.
don't know what time it is because there aren't windows in your cabins.
I opened the door. What?
Are your spell slots, replenished yet?
No.
No.
Dang it. Okay, never mind. Go back to sleep.
What?
I close the door.
Oh my God.
And I go back. I go back to my room, and I just kind of lay on my bed, staring up at the ceiling and just sending more concerned vibes out to Whale Mom.
Mm-hmm. Make me a perception check.
Okay.
Vibe check.
Vibe check. You said perception?
Mm-hmm.
19.
19. You notice your ring is glowing ever so slightly pale orange.
Ooh.
And as you take a closer look at it, it's pulsing ever so slightly.
I don't know. I'm gonna. I'm going to grab my sword.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna give it a big swing. See if that does anything.
Is this remind me, is your sword special?
No, it's not. I don't know. I guess I could do a spell.
I mean, you just swing your sword in this tiny cabin and clip the post of your bed.
All right. I'm going to then cast Mending on the bedpost. See if anything happens.
You
then.
mend the chip pretty easily.
All right. Forget it. I'm just going to go to sleep.
I mean, you try.
I'll just lay in bed and stare and just be like, I wish we spoke the same language.
Laying back on your bed and desperately hoping that you can get back to sleep without another experience like that. You do notice that after a while, your ring begins to match sort of your heartbeat as it begins to slow down, and eventually settles and the light goes away.
Cool.
And sometime, you don't know when, because again, no window in the cabin, you do manage to drift back off.
Well.
Indeed, whale.
Yeah. Cool.
So, as soon as Kit wakes up, because he's going to wake up before Sylfie, I'm assuming.
Probably.
I'm going to run right over to the door and start pounding on it. Like, Sylfie!
What?
Sylfie, wake up!
God. I, lurch out of bed and creak the door open, just what?
Are your spell slots recovered?
I didn't use any spell slots yesterday, dipshit, and I closed the door on.
Did you need me for something? I say through the door.
Oh, I open the door back up. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. You know that guy we met yesterday, right? The
fish guy, yeah.
The fish guy, yeah. Mm-hmm. Would you be able to send him a message?
I guess I could. I've seen him.
Cool. Tell him that Sylfie is wondering, could there potentially be a big old snake in the Red Dawn Trench?
Is that it?
Sure, depending on what he says back.
Okay. Does he have a name?
Yeah, it's a Javier.
Javier. Okay. I'm going to cast Sending to Javier and say, Sylfie wants to know if there's a big snake in the Red Dawn Trench.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. You hear Javier kind of startle a little bit. He's like, "What? Did you say you were Kit, or did you just say Sylfie wants to know?"
I just said Sylfie wants
Yeah.
to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. Well, whoever you are. No. I mean, there's a lot of stuff down there, but I don't think they're in that cuts off.
I tell Sylvia, like, he said no.
Can you send him another message, please?
What do you need to do?
Just tell him, hey, maybe you should check out the trench because there might be a big snake down there.
You do know Drozdana is like on the other side of the northern hemisphere from you guys.
Yes.
It's a long
But-
way.
Okay, then tell somebody over there that there might be a big snake over there.
Okay.
So tell somebody who's close to the Red Dawn Trench that there might be a big snake in there, and they might want to check it out. But like, be incognito about it so you don't get eaten by the big red snake or big snake. It wasn't red snake.
Okay. I'm gonna send a message to Javier. Sylfie said, tell somebody that there's probably a big snake in the trench.
I didn't say probably.
But be incognito because apparently the snake has very high perception.
Okay, I didn't say that either, but all right.
Okay.
That's it.
It takes him a moment, and he's like, "Are you guys okay?
Oh no.
Are you talking about the monster in Greenhall C, or are you talking about something else?
is that
I'm
right?
not aware of any giants or in it cuts off."
Okay. He's asked if we were okay. Which, alright. He's wondered if we were talking about a monster in Greenhall C, and then he cut out.
Oh, do I know? Okay, do we previously know about this monster that's in the sea?
You know of a sea serpent that lives in the Greenhall Sea.
That we talked to?
Yeah.
Or you talked to?
No, well, yeah, I know that one, but the one that I dreamed about was not that guy, right? Not that serpent.
Nope.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, so no, it's not that one. It's a different one. It's huge. It's as big as a mountain. Like its head is as big as a mountain. And it was in a trench, and I've never been to the Red Dawn Trench, but we were just talking about a Red Dawn Trench. And so I figured, like, maybe Whale Mom is like, hey, there's a big old snake there. Maybe you should, like, kill it or something.
What?
But
Where did you get all this from?
I had a dream last night. What? My
I'm gonna
dreams.
Send
Okay.
a message to Javier.
Mm-hmm.
Sylfie said she had a dream about a snake as big, whose head was as big as a mountain, and it's in the trench because you talked about the trench.
You should also tell him that I'm a paladin of Taldunost, and maybe sometimes that's important and helpful and useful. Sometimes.
I used all my words.
Javier says, well, I'm not sure. I can let somebody know, but I don't know of any. And then you hear him pause for a second. Says, is she talking about Zorot? And that's where it ends.
He said he can let somebody know, and he asked if you were talking about Zorot.
Zorod.
Oh, Zorod.
Xorod.
Do I
Zorro.
know? Oh, excuse me.
You've never heard that word.
Okay. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what
Okay.
that is.
Well, that's That's it. That's your luck for today. So,
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you. That didn't help at all, but
yeah.
Excuse me, I
Thanks.
misspelled it. Xoroud. So
ah. Okay. Well. Okay, you can go back to bed now.
Well, I was the one who woke you up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, then I'll go back to bed then. I slam the door in his face and I go to sleep for an extra hour.
Okay.
Wow. Yep. That's
All right. Well,
That's what we did.
Yep.
okay. Kit, when you go up, you see it's fairly close to dawn. You got a good night's sleep, and land is in sight.
Oh boy.
And you guys are coming upon Erisholm. You should be docked by probably 8 a.m. or so.
Okay.
So Erisholm, from what you guys can see, is a, for lack of a better word, understated kind of town. The first thing you really notice about it is that there are very clear channels around it for where ships should sail. And they're very carefully marked by these buoys to keep ships from coming in contact with sunken buildings. And you see the tops of some of these buildings still above the water, especially stone structures that haven't rotted away over time. You do see sitting out in the water what looks like it was maybe a repurposed bell tower, has been turned into a lighthouse. So there's a new structure on top of it, and there's like a little platform where people can row out to it and light the lighthouse. You guys, as you get close, being that your ship is so huge, several small little fishing boats come out to the ship and actually taxi you inward. Less taxi, more just gentle guiding. They can't really pull a Daw ship, but they bring you in to the largest stone pier, and very carefully, with a lot of ropes and a lot of teamwork of people working on the docks, pull the ship in until the side is up against the stone pier, and they tie on the mooring lines and the gangplank is thrown down. This looks like the only place in the entire port that a Daw ship can actually land at. Everywhere else is just tiny little miniature sailing ships or fishing boats. And yeah, I think that'll be a good spot to jump over to break.
Yay,
Okay.
break.
So we'll go ahead and break for 10 minutes. Mute your microphones. And we'll see you guys back in 10.
Okay. Boy. Whoops. Hello, everybody.
Hello and welcome back.
We're back, a dinosaur story.
I love that movie.
I know. It's weird, man, but
It's a weird movie.
it is.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know We're Back, a dinosaur story?
No, I don't know.
Imagine, how do I describe it? It's like those terrible 80s cartoons, but it was made in the early 90s by Universal Studios, and it's like a really bad little kid musical, but it's also really dark and scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
basically-
like a lot of dinosaur movies.
It's basically The Land Before Time, but if it were...
Modern day.
Yeah.
Modern day as in the 90s.
Yeah. Imagine Land Before Time, but all the dinosaurs are adults and they're in New York City.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. And they're
I'm
also
telling you.
aliens from space.
It's weird.
And the bad guy runs a evil carnival in Central Park.
It's
Why?
weird.
It's
Why?
a weird movie.
I don't know.
I don't understand. Okay. Alright, so Sorry, I was just getting something ready off screen, just in case we need it. So yes, it is a new day as you all approach the city of Erisholm, the port that the Daw ship can barely fit into. Erisholm itself is, imagine like a medieval little bitty London. It's very simple. Has a lot of sort of Tudorian style architecture. That's the older stuff. The newer stuff is all stone and wood. It looks like at one point this city, which extends, by the way, a couple miles under the ocean, you can see that the sunken city is inhabited, at least slightly, mostly by tritons and the occasional water genasi. And whomever else is down there, you don't really know because they don't come to the surface very often. The rest of the city is fairly small by comparison. It almost looks like somebody just took a knife and slashed off part of the city where this drop off goes, and there's a bunch of fallen buildings in the harbor itself. The rest is fairly simple. A lot of halflings here. There are even some kobolds and goblins who are more sort of civilized. Very few larger races here like Goliaths and Dragonborn. It's mostly smaller folk. And as you guys throw down the gangplank off the Raven, most of the dock workers are halflings as well, and they help bring things off the ship. Now, being that they are so small, they can't really lift all the crates and stuff, so they have like these rolling dollies that they use so that they can handle Goliath-sized cargo, even though they're so small. What would you guys like to do in Erisholm?
I guess I'll turn to Sylfie and be like, do you have any plans? I've got like a half a plan.
I have 0 plans. This is your thing.
All right. Well, then I would like to pull a smallish creature aside that looks like it speaks common.
Like what kind of creature?
I've met kobolds in your world, and I'm kind of iffy about kobolds, so I'm gonna choose a halfling.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah, this little red-headed halfling guy with a big bushy beard looks up at you and says, "Yeah, how can I help you?"
Yeah, is everybody Australian in this world?
That was not Australian.
Oh.
It's New Zealand.
No, it wasn't New Zealand. It was meant to be Irish, but fuck it.
Oh, well,
I feel like an asshole
for one
now.
thing, we should let them get out, like, more than a sentence before we, determine
thanks,
what accent they were using.
I try my best, man.
No, you're good. Don't worry. Hi, yeah, so what's a good place to get some information? Like, do you guys have like a hub or like a tavern?
Welcome center.
Yeah, do you have an information kiosk?
Well, oh god, now I am gonna be stuck in New Zealand.
No.
Oh god, I don't remember how to do Irish.
Where are me Lucky Charms?
Tighty.
Says, oh god, I can't remember how to do it now. Oh,
You're on the spot.
oh god, I don't
Perform.
remember.
Dance monkey.
Dance monkey. He says, if you go into the tavern, that's more English Scottish, but who
It
cares?
sounds
Yeah.
okay.
If you go over to the tavern, I mean that's usually good lord. That's usually the place where we get all our information in town. So and a drink. You could always start with a drink.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure, I'm gonna go work on my accent over here.
Yeah, I was gonna
Takes
say.
off. He's turned Scottish.
At least you attempt an accent. I'm just
tried
like,
real hard, and
He
then
slowly migrated north as you kept talking.
He slowly migrated.
my accent is just me, but bitchier.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a cool accent, and then,
And then,
You could have had another one.
I know, yeah. Anyway, well, let's
Whale?
go. Whale? Let's go to the tavern.
to the tavern.
To the tavern.
Okay, well, everybody here is going to be Scottish now. That's what's
Okay.
decided, because they're halflings. Fuck it, I'm going to be
That's
racist.
fine.
But yeah, you make your way into town, not too far. There's not a lot of taverns here because again, it is so small. But the nearest few that you can find is there's like a sort of a sailor's tavern, harbor side, and then going further into town, there's like a family tavern, and then there's just a drinking tavern.
Yeah, let's go to the drinking tavern. I don't want to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
It's not Chuck E. Cheese. It's more like the American Legion.
Ew.
You
I
also
know.
I
Ew.
don't want to go there. Their food is terrible.
Yeah.
wait. Isn't the American Legion like a Freemason thing, or
No.
American Legion
Wow.
is for veterans, and typically they also have a bar, and they do like really shoddy bar food, so everything's
Oh.
deep fried.
Yeah.
okay? I got them. Oh no, I got it confused with the Moose Lodge. That's like some sort of Freemason
I'm
thing,
not
or
sure.
maybe I'm just talking out my ass. I'm probably talking out
Everything's
my ass.
Freemason.
Our
Everything's
parents
Illuminati.
were involved
Yeah.
with the moose, so I think it's just something you just like pay to be part of it, but I really don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
I used to serve food for American Legion, like things.
Yeah. The moose
Whatever.
has better food.
It does. But anyway,
Okay.
yes.
Good to know.
So you make your way to the Mongoose Tavern.
The Mon Moose.
The Mongoose.
The
The
Mongoose.
Mongoose.
Because I couldn't come up with anything more clever on the
The
spot.
Mongoose. Ye old drinking spot, the Mongoose.
The old
Indeed.
Mongoose.
Yes, the dancing mongoose is what it's called.
It dances.
Yeah, every tavern in a fantasy setting has to be a verb with an ing and a proper noun,
Ah,
No,
or it has to be the da arms.
we had the pink pearl.
We
Remember?
did.
Yeah, but that was
Well,
a brothel.
the Pearl was like a real
That was-
seedy.
That was
Yeah.
explicit. That was a
Yeah.
That
brothel.
was the best little whorehouse in Port Saris.
Yes, it was. And
It really was the best little.
I love you.
Okay, thank you, Dolly. So I'm gonna walk into the tavern. I'm gonna go straight up to the bar dude, whatever they're called.
Bartender?
Thank you, bartender.
Wow.
And
Yes, it is a sort of scraggly looking dwarf with a forked beard. Looks
Ah.
like Patrick Rothfuss.
Oh, okay.
You don't know who that is, do you?
No,
What's
I
up,
know.
Breakfast?
I know he writes books.
Yes.
I haven't read any yet,
He,
but they
he
come
has
highly
great.
recommended.
streaks of
They're great.
silver through his hair and beard. Big old
Okay.
beard.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just cleaning up the bar as you step in, and he looks over at you, kind of clocks your weird furry ears, and stops what he's doing.
My eyes are up here.
He's looking at the same level. Your ears are at the same level. You don't have ears up here. They're side. You're an elf, not a furry.
Well,
Do they stick out that far
you
too?
can dream, right? Okay. Anyway, said that on the live stream. So I just want ears. Ears would be so cute. Anyway,
Then
what
be
was
a
I gonna ask?
tabaxi. Oh wait.
Oh wait, I already was.
Be a Vixu next. It'd be great.
Rip Jacks.
Oh, you
Anyway,
mean tiny
so-
little Vixu.
I'm gonna ask the dude and be like, so, hi, I'm new here in town.
Hello?
We're looking for some jobs. Maybe is there like anything real shady or dingy going around here that pays well?
Who are you?
My name is Kit.
All right.
What's your name?
I don't know.
He got really close.
Yeah, it's like,
Who
are you?
What's your name?
And he's just like, folks call me Bear, but
Bear?
Bear.
Is your mother a
My
bear?
mom turned into a bear. Oh yeah, that's all I could come up with. Shut up.
The trailer was very misleading. Okay. Now, what about chicken?
Sylfie's gonna come in and she's gonna be like, I think what my friend is trying to say is that we're looking for a little bit of extra income. If you might know of anybody who is hiring temporarily, typically, the day, maybe.
Yeah, do you have like a temp agency that pays really well?
Or just somebody who's like, oh, get rid of my, garden gnomes or whatever.
Are there any slaves around here?
You do realize
are there any
gnomes are
slavers
people.
around here we can kill?
Gnomes are people, Alicia?
Well, I don't know. Like, I'm at the teeny
And
little ones.
like
that
halflings are smaller than gnomes. Good lord.
Okay. Anybody who is just looking for a quick little job to be done, like old lady needs her cat out of a tree, something like that.
For preferably more than 1,000 gold.
That's a lot.
I don't know anyone who has that kind of money in this place.
We can take less. It's fine.
Yeah, we're flexible.
Well, if you're looking for just odd jobs, you could always go down to the docks and help load and unload ships.
Oh, that's so
There's farmers who could use some help. I don't know, weeding.
Do they need? Okay, so like, let me lay down my skill set for you. I'm good at murder. Is there like a job for that?
Legal murder.
Legal murder.
It's legal.
It's always legal.
Like, I pull out my warden badge and I'm like, look, see, legal murder. Yeah. And then I put it away really fast.
Well, if you're a warden, you should probably talk to the marshal.
Where could we find said marshal?
In the marshal's office.
Is that above water?
Yes.
Okay, can you point me in the right direction, please?
He sighs and he comes out from behind the bar. You see him hop down off like a raised platform behind it, and he steps out the door, points directly across the street.
Oh.
At to be fair, it looks like a house. But there is a small sign above the door that says
Marshal's office.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
It says Warden's Guild. But yeah.
Okay. I am going to hand him a silver and be like, thank you. That was much easier than anticipated.
That's awful generous. Thank you, and take care with your legal murder.
Yes, please don't tell anybody.
Cheerio.
Bye.
And he just walks back into his bar and like closes the door behind you.
I love how whenever we talk to somebody, we instantly become like the biggest shits on the face of the planet.
Basically.
D&D.
I lean over to Kit and I'm like, so that was awfully generous for a guy who has like no money.
I've still got 16 gold and 6 silver. I don't have any copper on me, so it was the smallest I had. Should I have asked him to make change for a tip?
No, you just never mind. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
I would like to tip you. Can you break this down for me, please?
Yeah.
Oh, but not this much. I would like less to tip you.
Right.
Making your way across the street to the warden's office. it's open. It's a public space, so you can just walk right in. It's laid out a little bit like a classic sort of sheriff's office, where it's got the desk at the front, it's got like a deputy's sort of desk at the back and bookshelves, and then there's a sectioned off area that seems to be a small jail, and then there's a stairway at the back that leads down. Sitting at the main front desk, sort of staring out the side window, just watching traffic go by, is a Triton. He doesn't have like his swimming uniform on, the sort of skin tight blue. Instead, he has just a loose white dress shirt, buttoned up, nice leather coat, dark trousers, boots. And he's just sitting there enjoying the sun coming in through the window, and sitting at the deputy's desk at the back you see is a human man in a similar ensemble. They both have the warden badges displayed on their chest, and you can hear from the jails, even though you can't see the person at this angle, you can hear somebody just humming away, just passing the time.
What are they humming?
I don't know. Like,
well, you said they were staring out the window, so like watching traffic go by, and I immediately started to think of Hello Dolly.
No, the wardens aren't. The warden and the marshal aren't humming. It's somebody in the cells.
Gotcha.
But they don't seem to mind. It's a nice little tune. It's just a little folk tune.
Gotcha. I'm gonna walk up to the front desk and be like, I'm gonna tap on it lightly to get his attention and be like, hello.
Yeah,
person.
And the Triton turns to face the both of you. You see he's got this, Tritons have like bluish to white hair, and he's got this like full beard going on that's still kept pretty close. And he looks up at the both of you and says, morning, how can I help you?
Hi there, yeah, do y'all have a job board?
And he motions over to a board on the wall, and you see it's a bounty board.
Ooh, a bounty board.
There
That excites me on an instinctual level.
Maybe we could like try doing this first before we go asking if people know of legal murder.
I didn't know that there was a warden here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. It's just an inside joke. Well, they have a sign that says Warden's Guild. Maybe if you would have. That's beside the point. The point is, you need to pay attention a little bit more.
And excuse me, sir. So on this board with all these bounties, which one do you? How difficult would you say they are on like a scale of like 1 to 20?
We're kind of at like a 6.
Yeah,
if you have like a 6.
He gets up from his desk, and Kit, he about matches height with you as he walks over to the board. He taps on one that has this fairly accurate drawing of what appears to be an orc or half-orc man. You can't quite tell. Says, well, this fella, he's pretty simple to deal with. We just haven't been able to catch him because he's so damn slippery. He's
like literally slippery, or
like, is he a fish person?
He's an orc.
Oh, well.
Does he not bathe?
Is he really sweaty, or?
Do y'all not know what a slippery thief is?
No, we're just asking.
I didn't know if he was like the sticky
it's literal,
bandit,
like,
or like the sweaty bandit.
Yeah.
No.
You never know.
He's very good at escaping, is what I mean.
How so?
Yeah.
Enough to the point where we still haven't caught him, clearly.
No, I mean, like, how does he do it? Is it like magical, or is he just quick?
I think it's a combination of the two.
Okay.
He's kind of a prolific robber in these parts, and if he's still in the area, which I'm pretty sure he is, we would like to have a chat with him about where all his stolen riches go. He taps on another, which is a familiar face to the two of you. It is Kellogg Marta, the drow. He says, this fella is a bit longer standing bounty. Bounty exists across the entire continent at this point. He's a slave trader, and typically...
We know.
We're familiar.
Oh, you've met. All right.
Yeah.
I have personally punched him in the face.
Lovely. Well, there's a pretty good bounty out on him, so if you ever get a hold of him, alive or dead, he's worth about 2,000 gold.
Oh, what is your name, sir?
Quit asking me for names.
Well, I have to know
Don't have
who I'm
names.
going to send a message to when I catch the asshole, so I can collect my money.
All right. Most people just call me Zed.
Zed,
Zed.
do you run the Men in Black headquarters?
Excuse me?
I'm just...
Are you
Reference.
like a modern day like pop star DJ type person?
If you absolutely must know, my mother named me Zothos, but I don't really care for that name too much.
Why? It's a cool name.
It's
is.
all right.
It's fine.
But no, most folks just call me Zed.
Okay, Zed. So... Yeah, so is this orc dude, is he like... We'll catch Kellogg eventually, we know where he's going. But is this orc dude, like, hanging around here?
I mean, I assume so. He broke in... Well, we don't know if it was him for sure, but there's another break-in just last night.
Okay, where was that? Can you give us some details? We would like
Yeah.
to accept this bounty.
Okay. He goes over to his desk and pulls out a little map of the town, and he marks on it where the house was. And he puts little X's over previous houses that have been hit, and you can see they're kind of making a ring around the city.
Mhm.
Says he seems to be just working his way through. We've been trying to set up traps for him, but never seems to trip any of them.
Well,
Interesting.
He's not
If-
really a fighter.
if we see this ring that he's making, can we kind of predict what the next place is?
Make an insight check.
I will definitely do that.
Yeah, I will too.
Oh, that's not helpful.
Ooh, that's not great. 13.
Okay. Looking at the sort of trajectory he's on, you can guess one of two. There's a smaller house that the marshal has marked as a blacksmith shop, and then there's another one that is just a residence. One of those two look like they're most likely to be next.
Well, it's probably the blacksmith shop, right? It's a business, not a home.
Has he been hitting homes mostly or businesses?
Well, a lot of people live above their businesses in this town, so both.
Oh. The blacksmith shop would have more to steal. What's he been after?
Anything small enough to fit in a pocket, basically. And he looks down at the blacksmith shop that you guys are considering. He says, this particular smith is just a iron and steel smith. I don't think he makes any kind of jewelry. But the folks that live across the street, they're gone fairly often. They're sailors, merchants. They make a sort of circuit of the western side of Haras. So honestly, I haven't been able to decide between both of them myself. One of them has a little more money than the other, possibly more valuable decorations, but the blacksmith shop has actual goods.
So, maybe We can't split up.
I mean, we could split up.
We could, but then what happens if we run into Kellogg? Then he'll murder one of us.
I mean,
Kellogg, he's definitely not here.
Kellogg's not here.
Oh.
No, he ran for Morsrest as fast as he could with his tail tucked between his legs.
Well. Then I don't know.
I'm thinking it might be the more family home, because if he's only stealing things that are small enough to put in a pocket, blacksmith goods are really heavy.
Yeah, you're right.
And they're not typically small.
Well, you have like little, what are they, ingots?
Yeah, but they're
Ingots
still
are
not that
big.
small. They're big.
No. You can tell how much I know about weapons
Your typical
or smithing.
ingot comes in like this brick, like literal bricks.
Well,
Well,
what are you thinking? You're the one who needs money, so...
I'm thinking he'll probably go after the smaller place.
Okay.
But if we want to, what we could do is we could hang outside there and just watch them and see if we can see him going in there.
We could.
Can we, sir, what was your name again? Zed.
Zed.
I wrote it down, but can you let people know that we're going to be shady and shifty and hanging around there while we're trying to catch this guy?
As long as bounty hunters don't break the actual law, and as long as anything you do is in pursuit of this particular man, I don't care.
Okay.
That's all we need
Just
to know.
Try not to break anything.
We'll do our absolute best.
Because anything you do break is coming out of your reward.
How big's the reward?
For the orc, it is 250 gold.
That's not a lot.
It's that's a lot of money.
No, I know, but like I want hundreds of thousands of gold.
Yeah, well,
Then
that's not
you
happening.
need to like bring a god's head to somebody.
Oh, I could do that. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so I guess let's I'm gonna need to rest before we take on this guy, so because you used up all my good spell slots this morning.
I mean, you didn't have to do that.
Right, because telling you no is an option.
You never ask. You never, yeah.
I'll remember that.
Okay. All right, fine. Let's
All right.
rest.
Yeah. What time is it during the day?
It's probably like 9, 10 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Well, first let's go tell what's his nuts. The
That
captain.
we're staying.
Yeah, that we're gonna stay for a day. And he'll be fine with that, or he'll live, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way back to the Raven ship and see that pretty much all the other passengers have gotten off, but 2 have gotten on. A moon elf woman and a half-orc man. They just seem innocuous. But you do find Bull, who you didn't take with you, is still there. He's doing his morning jog. And Ziegler is...
Is he still on the ship doing his morning jog?
Yep.
I kind of wave him down. I'm just like, Bull, you don't have to run on the ship. You can run, like, around town.
Well, I thought we were leaving.
There's been a change of plans.
Yeah.
Cute. Yeah, he kind of comes down the gangplank and says, "All right, well, what are we doing?"
We're gonna kill people.
Maybe.
Okay.
Bad
They
people.
deserve it?
We're gonna kill bad people.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Maybe.
So So
should
Ziegler, hello? Ziegler?
And Bulwark says, he's not on the ship.
Where'd he go?
He went to the bar
Of course he did.
God,
at
these
10 in the morning.
sailors and their drinking. Well, do you know which bar he went to?
And he points like across the wharf to where one of those sailor bars is at.
One of those sailor bars.
One of them sailor bars, the ones that are real crusty.
Yeah,
Their
with
sailor
their
bars.
sailor bars with their salad bars. Yeah.
Sailors don't eat salad.
Yeah, I know.
They eat fruit.
Popeye eats spinach. That's
Ew.
basically a salad.
Yeah, but it's canned. Can you imagine eating a canned salad?
Ew.
All right. So we're gonna go to the sailor salad bar and to find Ziegler. I'm sure he'll be flirting with anything that breathes.
Close.
Probably.
Make your way over to this bar that's real crusty and seedy. Just real gross.
Yeah.
You make your way in through this just filthy windowed door. You can't even see through it. And inside is a bunch of the crew of the Raven who are just gathered around, drinking, playing cards. It looks like they probably get paid every time they make landfall, so they're just wasting all their money.
Mhm.
A bunch of them have local girls like sitting in their laps and are trying to impress them, and typical sailor nonsense.
Yeah.
Ziegler is sitting at the bar talking to the bartender, who is this humongous hobgoblin woman. Like she's not, compared to Bull, she's still pretty small, but she's huge for a hobgoblin, with the sort of pointed back ears and the long black hair, reddish skin.
Mhm.
But she's just talking with him, and you can tell he's trying to flirt with her, and chat her up, and she's just not having any of it. He like finishes his drink and she refills it and just walks away from him while he's trying to he's trying to do that thing in the Musketeers where they're trying to teach the kid how to tell poetry to a lady, and he like switches tactics every time she comes back. And it's kind of sad to watch because he's just not having any luck. But yeah, as you guys approach, she turns her attention to you and walks over and says, "All right, what'll it be?"
Oh,
We just need to talk to the guy who's bothering you.
I don't know. I'll have a nail.
All right, and she reaches under the bar, pours from a cask, and you do notice that the bar itself and like the glassware is sparkling clean, but the like floors and the outside of the building are disgusting. And she sets this glass down in front of you. It says, "Yeah, you might want to rein him in before he gets his teeth knocked out." And she walks away. She just gave you the drink for free.
Oh.
Not our responsibility. Okay. So I'm gonna walk over to Ziegler and be like, "Hey,
Yeah, what's up?
we're gonna stay for a day, so we'll make it good with you. Just ask Sylfie; she's got money; she'll do it."
All right, 10 gold.
Why don't I turn to Kit? I'm like, why don't you do it? You have 10 gold, and it's your thing. And then if we make this back, then you'll have
250.
more than 10 gold. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep all of it then, and I hand him 10 gold.
He takes it. He's like, "Perfect," and tucks it away. Says, or he stands up from his seat and says, "All right, ladies, we're staying for another day. Just don't spend all your money in one place." And the crew like laughs at him and just goes back to what they were doing.
I turn to Ziegler and I'm like, "Speaking of ladies,
Yeah.
the one at the bar is probably gonna take some of your teeth with her if you don't knock it off."
Yeah, she's just not that into you, man.
Yeah,
I
go
mean,
find.
I'm pretty into that.
Okay, cool, but
That's-
it's a little gross.
Yeah.
You gotta respect people's boundaries. Consent. Boundaries. She has her boundaries, and it doesn't include you crossing them. So,
It's like, well, she hasn't said anything yet.
Okay, well, you also gotta kind of like read the room, like body language is
I'm
a
gonna
thing.
call out to her. I'm gonna be like, "Excuse me, miss. Can you tell him that you're not into him?"
And she looks at Ziegler. She says, "You don't have a chance in hell."
There you go.
Ta-da!
And Ziegler's like, all right.
Communication is so easy if you actually communicate.
Yeah, you could like ask her, like, hey, do you, I guess it would be a little weird to be like, do you think I'm attractive? But you could be like, hey, would you be interested in a date? And if she says no, then go, okay, cool, I'm not talking to you anymore because you're not interested in me. It's really that easy.
It's really easy.
And he can see he's mildly entertained by all of this. He's like, all right. And he looks at Sylfie. He's like, does the same go for you?
All right. We're not. No. Just no. The answer's no. So don't even float that past ever again.
All right.
Yeah. Well, hold on a sec. Is he hot?
I have mentioned several times.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember.
Ziegler is a very attractive Goliath. Like the chiseled jaw, like a lot of like squared and sort of triangular features, a lot of muscle, but not like overly so. He's svelte but athletic. And he's got a very nicely manicured beard. If it matters to you at all, like he keeps his fingernails clean. He's very hygienic man.
Okay.
But he also dresses very sharply, wears like a lot of squared shoulders. He's very confident.
It's a no right now. But
right now.
I'll check back in with you if I'm feeling particularly desperate.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
I mean, it's just a fact.
Well, if you're ever interested, I always keep a few extra bottles of wine in my cabin.
Cool. Anyway, not doing that right now. Still a no. So we are going to be here for another day so that we can take care of his money situation.
All right. Well, just let me know when you're ready to shove off. 10 gold a day.
Okay.
We'll get it done in one day. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Does Sylfie leave?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
I kind of like walk back to Ziegler for a moment and I like punch him in the arm and I'm like,
ow! What?
You didn't ask me.
I already assumed the answer was no. Look at your face.
Oh, you assumed? Well, fuck you too. And I just walk back out.
Wait, no, I mean, you got a nice face, but it's real angry.
Nope.
The offer's open, and yeah.
Keep walking.
Okay.
Bye, sailor.
Bye.
Bye.
But yeah, you guys make your way outside, and it's, almost 11 in the morning. What are you doing with your day?
I'm going to go back to the ship, and I need to rest up so I can get my spell slots back.
Yeah, that's right.
But you, Sylfie, you can go do whatever you want.
Oh, I don't know what
Bull
I want
is
to
now
do.
following with you guys.
Yeah.
You know what? I will, while you are checking up on that, I'm going to go check out the blacksmith shop / residence that this guy's probably going to hit and see if there's any sort of, if he's casing the joint or stuff like that. Basically.
All right. Yeah, make your way across town, which doesn't take long at all, as Kit goes to chill out for a while. Bull walks alongside you, and you can see, like, even though he's traveled literally the world with the Phelan caravan, he's still got, like, this wide-eyed wonder. Even though Erisholm is not anything special, it's a rundown, like, pre-calamity piece of a town, and he's just wide-eyed, like, oh, yay.
Taiylor, I have to say, if anything happens to Bull, I will hunt you down.
I am so happy that I've made him, like, so beloved so
He's
fast.
so adorable. Like, he's just innocent.
If anything ever happened to Bull, I would kill everybody and then myself.
Oh my god.
Mark my words. Yeah.
You lay a finger on this good boy, you will lose it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just walking along, just wide-eyed wonder, just looking at everything. You see that he is particularly enthralled with how many tiny people there are. And he's like being very careful because he realizes he could run over them at any moment because he's so tall.
No.
And so he spends a lot of time, like, he'll look up, like, look around, and then, like, quickly look back at the ground, make sure he doesn't run into anybody. But yeah, he just dodges his way through all the halflings. There's quite a few people in this city, despite there not being much city.
Right. I turn to him and I'm like, all right, so we're just kind of like casing the joint. And so I want you to just have my back, and just kind of watch out for anybody who might be like watching me that I don't see, you know, just kind of like be support in this situation. But like, I know it's really hard because you're like gigantic, but try not to stick out, just kind of like be casual.
Well, I've always found that, being that I'm so big and hard to miss, especially with all these tiny folks around me, if I just, like, make a distraction, nobody will notice you. Like, if I go away a little bit and make a distraction.
Maybe. Well, so I'm trying to kind of like see if anybody in particular is like looking at this place or
so I
anything
probably
like that.
shouldn't let him know. Okay, I get it.
No.
All right. And he looks around. He's like, and you see him walk up to a like a board that's just posted on the side of the street. Like, there's local like news posted on there. And he just like grabs a flyer off of it and brings it with him. He's like, I'll pretend to read this.
Perfect. That's perfect. But also just keep an eye out for anybody. And okay, perfect.
Can Bull read?
Slowly. He if he tried to read like, oh god, if he tried to read like the words Dungeons and Dragons, it would be like Dunkins and Dragons. He would eventually get it.
Cool. So with him posted there, I'm going to just watch those two places and see if anybody is coming in or out that looks like this orc person, or if there's anybody like kind of like watching or anything like that. See if there's anything weird.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception.
Perception.
Ooh, that was a net 20. So
Okay,
23.
23? Okay. Yeah, as you guys make your way up to this area where the house and the blacksmith shop are, they're not directly across the street from each other. They're sort of staggered away. but you can get like a sight line between them. Which one are you watching first?
Let's do the blacksmith shop first.
Okay. The blacksmith shop is currently open. It's a little bit of a two-part setup where the shop itself is under a roof in the front that has no walls. Just has columns holding everything up, and there's a forge under there with a chimney. And working at the forge itself is several kobolds and this big what's the thing that Quinn is? What's it? Furbolg. Big Furbolg. So the Furbolg himself is the smith, and you can see he's got like black smudges all over this pale tan fur, and he's got long black hair that's pulled back behind his head. He's just hammering away, bent over this anvil as the kobolds, there's like 5 of them, just scurry around the shop, bringing him things, putting things away, cleaning. One of them is actually running like the front counter and is standing on a stool behind it, just with his little lizardy hands on the counter, watching people go by, just like flicking back and forth. But yeah, they seem to be a pretty well-oiled machine, and they're just working away. You see an elven woman walk up to the shop and pick up an order before going along. And roll me a stealth check. Roll one for both, too.
Sylfie's so stealthy.
Well, yeah. That is a 6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay. You find a spot away from Bull as Bull goes and like sits on a bench that's way too small for him and like starts to read. His stealth check was actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
So nobody thinks much of him other than like, holy fuck, he's big. But you go and like take up a spot just leaning on like a lamp post with an oil lamp at the top. You lean on it and like cross your arms, like trying to look nonchalant and out of the way. You don't do a very good job, because after about a minute or so of just watching around and clocking people that go by, you do see a few orcs go by, but none of them look like the person you're looking for. Eventually that little kobold at the counter realizes that you're watching, and he sticks his head out of the window, the like order window, and then like sticks half of his body out, just staring at you.
Oh, didn't see you there. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Why are you looking at the shop?
I'm just standing, looking at a lot of things.
You look really suspicious.
That's no way to address someone. You can't just say they look suspicious.
Well, I mean, you're leaning on a pole in the middle of town not doing anything. You look really suspicious.
I'm just relaxing. This is how...
And staring at the shop.
This is how half-elves relax. They lean against poles and stare at shops.
That's accurate.
Well, for me, it is. Where I come from.
Where are you from?
You know, here and there.
That's not very specific.
Around. No. I mean, I grew up with nomads. We roamed around. You may know of them. The Phalon Caravan.
Oh yeah, those are pretty cool people. You're
Yeah.
a Phalon? What do you do?
I
What do
am.
you perform?
I pull up my lute and I do a little strum.
Fling-a-ding.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Do you need new strings or anything like that? Is there anything we can help you with at all?
Oh, actually, I have pretty good strings right now, and they're magic, so I'm good on strings. No, I'm great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And at this point, the other kobolds have noticed as well, and they're all like peeking like an eye out to look at you. And you hear the hammering stop, and the furbolg, this big like furry head, pokes out slowly. He's like, "What are you all looking at?"
Nothing to see here, just making some.
He sees them all staring at you. He's like, "Oh hey, how you doing?"
Hi, great, doing wonderful. Just standing here.
And he looks down at all the kobolds. He's like, it's really, really rude to stare, especially at a lady. And all the kobolds look up at him and they're like, and they pull back. And he's still looking at you. He says, sorry about them. Still teaching them manners.
That's fine. Do you run this shop?
Yeah, this is my place.
You remind me of someone that I know. Yeah.
I get that a lot.
So listen, and I like lean in and kind of look around and make sure there's no like suspicious people listening.
With your perception check, you are aware that all the kobolds have now hidden behind a crate and are still listening.
I don't care about them so much.
You see like a little foot claw sticking out.
I don't care about them so much.
A little fin ear sticking out the top.
Oh my god. I don't care about them so much. I care more about like passersby.
Yeah. A couple people like just glance at you as they walk by, just because you're not a familiar face, but nobody seems to care.
Okay.
It's a pretty like small community, so they recognize when somebody new is there.
Right. So the reason that I'm here actually is because there might be somebody trying to rob you. Don't be alarmed. I'm trying to stop it.
Oh, that's okay. Nothing alarms me.
Oh, great. Yeah, you like, I've met a lot of furbolgs before and they're just kind of chill.
Yeah, most of us are pretty zen.
It's good quality to have. Anyway.
But, well, to speak to that, I know. The wardens have talked to us a couple times saying that might be somebody passing through looking to steal some things, and I mean, if it's somebody who needs something, I'd rather they take it from me than somebody else.
Right. Yeah. That makes no sense, but okay.
Well, if somebody's in need, can't blame them.
Can't you though? I mean, okay. That aside, I'm trying to catch this person.
Well, are they just a thief, or are they desperate?
I mean, I think they're just a thief.
Oh, wow.
I don't know them personally, but...
Well, maybe we should ask them.
So typically in my line of work, if you ask somebody who's trying to rob you, hey, why are you robbing me? They don't really answer and they just kind of stab you instead.
Fair.
So yeah.
Maybe when you catch him, we ask him.
Sure, we can ask him whatever we need, but also we need to tell the authorities because that's like still a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Still a crime. Yeah.
Well, I know it must sound weird for me to say I'd rather a thief steal from me than somebody else, but this is a pretty small community. When people steal here, it's usually not malicious. There's a lot of desperate people here. So, if it's somebody who's desperate, then I'd like to help them out.
I get that. But they also might not be stealing from you. They might be stealing from the house next door. So we still have to be diligent about it. So I guess just keep your guard up. And if they do come around, you can let me know, I guess. I don't know how.
He looks back toward the crate where all the kobolds are now just peeking out behind it, not trying to be stealthy at all. He says, yeah, well, one of us will come to the warden's office, tell the marshal. And one of the little kobolds like sticks his hand up to like volunteer. He's like, yeah, Levy will do it.
Okay, perfect. Levy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go back over to my pole and just lean.
Okay. And he looks at all the kobolds. He says, don't stare at her. And they're all like, okay, fine. And they all get back to work.
Cool. I guess I will continue to stare.
Okay. Make a new perception check as you're turning your attention now the other way.
Okay.
I love kobolds.
That is an unnatural 20.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, turning, sort of shuffling around the pole to the other side. Go ahead and make a new stealth check.
Oh, yeah. That is better. That is 16.
16, okay.
Yeah.
This time, you actually switch positions. You go lean on a wall outside a shop, making it look like you're waiting for somebody. And that helps a little more, because there's a couple other people in the area. They don't seem to notice you too much. Looking toward the house, you can tell there's probably no one home. It looks like the place has been, the windows have all been shuttered, and it appears that they may be gone on a trading voyage or something. It's a very beautiful older house. You could probably place it maybe 100 years old or more, post calamity, but still fairly new. Has a lot of beautiful hedges and flower bushes and a little garden. But you do, after watching for a few minutes, you do see the front door open, and a little halfling girl, looks like she's maybe 16 or so, comes out and actually tends the garden, picks a few things that are ready, and goes back inside. After another few minutes, she comes back out with a basket full of different things she's picked, and she makes her way away down the street.
Well, that wasn't helpful. Okay. Well, after a while, I guess I go over to Bull.
He's made it about halfway through the page.
Hey, did you see anybody who looked suspicious at all, or anything like that?
Well, and he doesn't look straight at the person, but he sort of motions a little bit to his left. And you do see, sort of out of place, because there aren't very many Dragonborn here, you do notice a black Dragonborn at the opposite corner from you guys, who is doing a similar thing to what you were, which is leaning outside a shop. And you can see that he has been occasionally glancing over at Bull.
Okay. Well, let's go. Let's go back to the ship. We'll just let Kit know what we saw, which is nothing, basically. And then he and I will take care of the rest of it from here.
Oh, I don't get to help.
Oh, well, I guess you could. We're gonna have to because we're gonna have to go out at night, and we have to be really sneaky and stuff, so.
I can be sneaky.
Okay. I mean, you were pretty sneaky sitting here reading your papers, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I got real good peripheral vision.
Well, that's good. You can be our lookout.
Okay.
All right.
He follows you back to the Raven. You guys do pass by the Black Dragonborn, who you're aware he has realized you've seen him, and now he's just watching you. He watches you go by. Doesn't do anything, doesn't say anything, just watches.
Can I make an insight to see if he's like being sneaky or if he's just like
I mean, he's not being sneaky anymore.
Yeah, or you know what I mean? Like, do I get good vibes off of him or do I get like
Okay,
this
roll
guy
an
is
insight
yeah.
5 check.
5 check.
Check. That's
What
what
are
insight should
vibes?
be
What are
called in
vibe
6th
check?
edition, is vibe check.
Yeah. So that was a natural one, so I know nothing.
You think he's a Dragonborn, but he might not be.
Could be a really big kobold.
Could be lizard folk, could be a small dragon.
Yeah.
Could be a small dragon.
Without
Wow.
wings.
Yeah, just hanging out in town.
Wow. All right, cool. Let's go back.
Alright. Yeah, make your way back. By the time you arrive, it's probably 1 o'clock or so in the afternoon. And it's getting to be a little bit hotter, maybe getting up to the mid 70s or so Fahrenheit. And
Mid 70s Celsius, everybody's dead.
Oh God, yeah, we're
the
just
world is dead.
smoking. Yeah.
The world is on fire. Yeah, you make your way onto the ship, and there's not much activity happening. Most of the crew is off doing their own things with shore leave now that they have an extra day. There are a few people still on board, just keeping watch, cleaning, looking after the ship's weapons. But otherwise, it's a nice, calm day. The port's not doing too much.
All right. I guess we'll get back onto the ship. How long has it been since? 2 hours?
Mhm.
Oh God. Well, I guess I'll take like a short rest or something then, because if he needs to do a long rest to refill his spell slots, then yeah, I'll take a short rest.
Yeah, just take a good old chill pill and relax and sunbathe, and Bull goes jogging.
Oh boy.
Energetic boy. He knows he's
Yeah.
energetic, which is why he tries to wear himself out a little bit. He's a good boy.
Oh,
It's like a dog.
I
Yeah,
love him.
he-
That's
he
why I
is
love him so
very
much.
dog-like. Around 6 o'clock or so, as you're still just chilling after dinner, Bull, who did stop for dinner finally, he's just doing random shit all over the ship, sightseeing. He occasionally disappears into town and comes back with something like small and weird, just as like a collectible.
Oh.
Yeah, like little trinkets and stuff. After
You said
dinner,
small and weird, and I thought maybe he came back with a kobold.
that would definitely work.
This is my new pet.
Oh God.
This is my new friend. His name's Steve. Yeah, after dinner, you're just chilling out on the deck, watching. Well, the sun's not going to set at 6 o'clock. It's going to set more like super late. You're chilling out when Bull comes and sits next to you. He just kind of flops down, and he's so heavy that you swear you lift off the ground just a little bit as he lands next to you. Yeah, he just sits there looking around.
You ready for tonight?
Yeah.
Cool. You're not too tired after your 20 jogs that you took, right?
I'm not sure that sentence makes much sense, but all right.
I
No, I'm good to go. I'm just warmed up.
Okay.
And he glances toward the stairway one of the two stairways that goes down into the ship, and he very quietly to you, like he's afraid someone will hear, says, "Do you think Kit doesn't like me?"
Well, okay. I don't think it's a matter of not liking you. I think you're very likable. I think Kit has a problem with liking anybody. It's just, I don't even know if he likes me sometimes. Like, I did do a zone of truth on him once, and he did say sometimes he likes me. So...
Who does he like?
Nobody.
That's a good question.
Like, what does he like? Does he like, I mean...
He likes killing things.
That's not a very good hobby. What else?
Not. I don't know. He likes...
Somebody who used to beat people up for a living.
He did like his coyote.
He had a coyote?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one that we came to the caravan with.
Yeah, I saw him. I didn't know it happened to him. I wasn't at the show.
Yeah, the show got a little messy.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think anybody died.
Yeah, it was his coyote, unfortunately. So I think he's been a little extra bummed out because of that.
He glances around and he's like, and he leans and he's like, do you think he'd like a puppy?
Oh,
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
Well, Sylfie, I think, is unsure. I don't know if that would make him more bummed out or if he would like it. Also, like, Dinky wasn't a puppy. He wasn't like a dog. He was like a coyote. He was like a big wild animal. He was big too, so I don't know. But I mean, maybe you could maybe. Okay, here's the thing. So we could like get a dog, and then we could be like, oh man, look at this dog. And if he's like, ooh, a dog, I want a dog, then we'll be like, oh, cool. Well, we were just gonna let it go, but here, he's yours now. But then if he doesn't do anything with the dog, then we can just like, I don't know, give it to like a little...
I'd like a puppy.
Well, then you can keep it. So either way, we can get a dog.
Because I saw this lady who had like this. I went jogging past this farm, and she had this sign up that said they had puppies, and I thought,
you know what?
I might like one, but I wasn't sure because I'm traveling with you, and I don't want you guys to have to deal with it if you don't want that. But
so I don't care, as long as you take care of it, because I'm not gonna like clean up pee spots and stuff.
No, I've had a lot of dogs in my life.
Okay.
We used to have like 7 of them when I was little.
Oh, whoa, that's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And he takes
Why don't?
off.
Oh God. Okay. I run after him.
You go after him?
Yeah.
Okay. It's thump 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 thump. Yeah, he just straight up sprints across town. You fall behind like 10% into the journey.
Okay.
But yeah, you eventually do catch up to where he stopped outside this like little farm on the edge of town. And you see there's a little wooden sign that just says puppies inquire inside. And
I just imagine I'm just like sweaty and like nasty.
Bull is slightly sweaty.
Okay, this is the place.
He has stopped to wait for you, but yeah,
Okay.
he's standing outside there, and he's like, yeah, and he like straightens up, and he's like, I'm not wearing a shirt, and he like reaches into his bag and like pulls on a shirt to look a little more presentable.
I mean, it's not a job interview. I don't think they'll deny you a puppy if you don't have a shirt on, but it's fine.
Well, I tend to find that is a bugbear. I'm a little more monstery looking to a lot of people, so whenever I meet new people that I want something from, I try to make a good impression.
Well,
So I
that's
look
sad
less
that you.
like a big furry behemoth of a monster.
That's sad that you feel like you need to do that.
It's okay. Whatever makes other people comfortable, I'm alright. It's just a shirt.
Okay.
I'll just take it off when we get back out here, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Well.
And he starts walking up the little path.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I follow him.
Just the good boy march up to the door. And he goes up and he knocks and he like steps back respectfully so he's not like right in a person's face. And when the door swings open, this human lady is standing on the other side, kind of bent a little bit with a cane and long gray hair all pulled back in a messy bun. And she looks out and you can see her kind of squinting like she can't see that well. And she says, hello? And Bull says, hi, I saw you had puppies and we were wondering if did you still have some? And the old lady looks up at him, not really sure what she's looking at. She says, yes, we do. Come, I'll show you. And she steps out and little old lady shuffle past him with her cane. And she leads you over to this side barn that looks, as soon as you get close to it, you can smell horses. She opens it up and you see in one of the empty stalls, the door is open and inside you can hear like little and little sounds. And you see laying in a pile of hay, there is this absolutely gorgeous blue tick hound. And she has this pile of puppies with her. There's like 5 of them. All with the sort of black and mottled gray, almost bluish fur. And they have little tan brown socks on their feet and like a brown tan underbelly. Ben's having a meltdown.
It's okay, I'm gonna be fine.
They've all got like the split on their face where they have like the black mask and then the gray and brown face. And the old lady sort of motions and says, yes, we weren't expecting these ones, so we're trying to find good homes for them. And Bull steps into the stable, and the mother dog like looks up at him like, what the fuck? But with the old lady standing there, she seems pretty calm as Bull crouches down, and he, in his massive furry hands, picks up one of these tiny little piles of fluff, and he's just enchanted. You can see just this little ball of puppy, just like, I think I'm in love.
No.
It's these puppies are like, they're still having a little bit of trouble like walking, but they're getting there. They're probably just old enough to be adopted. And he's holding this one just absolutely enchanted.
Aww.
And some of the other puppies like falling over the hay are like walking up to him and like putting their paws on him. And Bull turns and looks at you, Sylfie, and says, I want all of them, but I know I shouldn't.
Ooh, yeah, all is a little much.
It's a lot. It's a
yeah.
lot.
So, but the one that you're holding, you seem to really like. So maybe we'll get that one.
Yeah, and he stands up and very carefully like pushing the other puppies off his lap very gently and stands up, and he brings this other one to the lady, and she takes a look at it, and it's got like this little red ribbon like tied around its neck very loosely. And the old lady says, oh, she's certainly the calmest of the bunch. She doesn't have a name yet, so feel free. And Bull looks just holding the little puppy against his chest, against this big, like, he sort of has the shirt half open, so you can see like the big flare of lighter fur. He's just cradling her there. He's like, how much do you want for her? And the old lady says, she looks up at Bull, and she has this like smile, and she's like, keep her. And Bull's just like, the shoulders go up, and he's like,
I would like to look and see if there's one in particular that like Kit might match his energy a little bit.
Is there one that's like a tiny asshole?
Yeah.
That's a tiny asshole. Yeah, the little one Bull is holding is like super calm and chill. But looking over the others, of the four, and this is up to you to decide which one suits Kit, there's one who will not like go away from its mother's side. It's just watching all of you. You see it's got a little blue ribbon. You assume it's a boy. Another boy is just aimlessly falling over the hay. Looks like he's kind of the runt of the litter, and he's a little slower to pick up the walking. And then the other two girls are both like desperately like trying to figure out what Bull is, and like pawing at his legs and ankles. Yeah, the two after Bull are kind of rambunctious. The runt looks kind of like, oh, look at the world kind of thing. And the last one is like, do not leave mom.
I think I'm going to go for the runt.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think Kit might enjoy
challenge.
Yeah. And teaching and mentoring the puppy.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like the other ones are like, the other two are kind of curious, but like I feel like he would like a challenge, and then the other one is just like he's gonna be terrified of everything. So
yeah, the one Bull has is has a little bit of, each of them are unique, each of these puppies. The one Bull has looks most like the mother, where it's sort of everything is symmetrical, except for one paw has a much shorter brown sock, the front right paw. And with the runt, when you pick him up, other than being smaller than all the others, he also has this little birthmark, a little pink spot on his nose.
no.
Ben's just losing it in the background.
I'm fine. It's okay.
Puppy fever.
Puppy.
Yeah.
Okay. This one too, I guess.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Please. I'd like to keep a couple of them for training and whatnot, but I'm happy to part with two of them.
2 is good. 2's perfect. No more than 2.
And
No
Bill's
more.
like, are you sure?
Yes, I'm very sure.
Yes. And the old lady nods. She says, I think this will be a good match. And she leans down and like pets the mother a little bit, as she seems pretty chill, like she understands what's happening. There's a little bit of the sad puppy face going on. But Bull comes over and like holds the puppy down in front of her, and he's like, I'm gonna take really good care of her, promise. And if I'm ever back, I'll bring you to visit. And the mother dog just like sniffs the puppy and like licks her, and the Bull stands back up.
Taiylor, I swear to God, if anything happens to these puppies.
If anything happens to Bull or these puppies.
I guess I'll kind of do the same, like, yeah, same.
Same Z's if it's still alive.
Yep.
Um,
Really hope it's still alive.
hope it doesn't drown. Yeah.
Or get,
Sorry.
blown up or something.
Or, anything else that could happen
Yeah.
to a dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys take your new puppies and you step out, and the old lady closes the barn up and she pats each of you on the shoulder and says, well, take good care and good luck to you.
Thank you for the puppies.
Yeah. And she heads back inside as Bull is like walking away with the puppy. And you see the little girl puppy has fallen asleep, and he like very carefully, still holding her with one hand at a time, like pulls off his shirt and wraps her up in it, and he's just so fucking happy. You can see like he's a little teary-eyed, like a little glassy, and he's just like,
Well, what are you gonna name her?
I don't know, but it's gonna be good.
I'm sure it will. Yes.
Like
Kid's probably gonna
Prince.
name this one like Spike or something stupid and weirdly teenager asshole-ish, like kind of like
Brutus.
yeah, this is Butch or something. I don't know.
But as you guys are making your way back toward the ship, Bull is just very carefully with just one finger petting the little puppy and thinking. He's like lost in thought trying to come up with a name. But you guys make your way back, and by the time you do get back, it's about 7:30 or so. Kit, you're coming out of your long rest and coming back on deck when you see the two arrive carrying little bundles in their arms.
Oh, hey, what's up, bro? Did you have a good did you have a good nap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Sure, I was just trying it out. Didn't work.
Nope.
I will write that down and I'll make a note of it.
Thanks.
So anyway, look what we just happened to come across. And I hold out the puppy. Isn't that crazy?
And
We
Bull,
just
like holds his
saw
out to
him.
him.
We just saw them like sitting there and we were like, oh, why not?
Sitting there?
Yeah, they're just sitting there.
Were they abandoned on the side of the street?
Yep.
Like, what?
Yes.
Insight check.
Okay. Deception check.
Yeah, I know.
Sylfie.
I don't even know why I have to lie about
I don't
this.
either. 22.
Not 22, 11.
That is a blatant lie.
Yeah. Do you wanna? Where'd you actually? You know what? I don't care.
Look, is it cute? Do you think it's cute? Do you like it?
It's. Did you just become Irish for a second? Do you like it?
Do you like it? If you had the chance to change your fate, would
That's
you?
Scottish, thank you.
I don't know. I'm
Um.
horrible at accents.
If you had the chance to change your fate, would ya?
Would you?
So, I mean, it's a dog.
Do you like it?
I guess.
Insight check. Two can
Okay.
play at that game. Does he like the dog?
Persuasion versus insight.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
10.
8.
Okay.
Kit. So persuasion, like Kit likes it, but he seems hesitant.
Mhm.
What's the reservation? It's a cute
I-
puppy.
We're on a dangerous trip.
I mean, yeah, they can stay on like the boat.
Forever?
No, not forever. I mean, just when they're like little puppies.
We're going to be marching into the head assassin of the continents, and we're gonna take puppies?
There are dogs on Morsrest.
Do they live in Silas Moore's house?
I mean, maybe. I don't know if he's a dog person. He seems like more of a cat person to me, honestly.
Does he?
I mean,
Yeah.
you've never met him.
I know, but like just from what I've heard, seems like a cat person.
So evil.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
why do we have these dogs now?
Well, Bull really wanted one, okay? And then he was like, oh, maybe Kit would like one too, because his dog died. So maybe you could just be nice for like 2 fucking seconds and just understand that somebody did something nice for you.
And Paul speaks up because, I mean, he can hear all of this.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, Mr. Kit, I thought that, yeah, he started calling you Mr. because he realizes you probably don't want to be his friend. So he started being a little more formal with you. He says, Mr. Kit, I thought that maybe you could use a friend that doesn't talk so much.
Well, okay, hold on a second.
Well, no, I meant more in reference to me than you, Sylfie. I think you talk a good amount.
Oh, there you go.
But no,
Yeah.
you seem kind of angry and lonely all the time. So I thought maybe it'd be good to have somebody who's, you know, joyful, maybe just a little puppy to make you happy.
I hold it back out.
And he holds up his as well. He's like, I decided on a name for mine.
What is it?
I'm gonna name her Charlie.
Oh, that's nice. What about you?
Good old Chuck.
What about yours, Kit?
This one's mine.
Yeah.
Yup.
If you want it, if you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, Kit, if you want it.
I find that most animals tell me what their name is supposed to be as they go on. And I take it from Sylfie.
Well, so it's like really little, so I doubt it talks. So it probably won't be able to tell you for a while.
How often have you heard a dog speak?
That's not important. Anyway,
It's a metaphor, you dummy.
you gotta call it something in the meantime. You can't just call it dog.
I'm not gonna call it anything.
What? So what are you gonna say? Like, come here, nameless thing.
I'll know by tomorrow.
Tomorrow? It takes that long. It takes that short amount of time for something to tell you its name.
And Bull turns towards Sylvie. He's like, actually, I kind of think I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, Bull understands.
Yeah. He'll pick a name that works with his personality.
Okay,
Do
fine.
you need a manual on it? Should I get you a book?
All right. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to call him.
No, you're not.
It's just in my mind.
No.
It's just in my mind.
Nope.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You're not.
I
naming
have to
this dog.
call it. I have to call him something.
Just say the puppy for now. I don't want him to get confused because you're odd and impulsive.
And Bull kind of chuckles when Kit says odd.
Sylvie gets like a shit-eating grin on her face and walks over to the puppy and kind of pats it on the head and goes, all right. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Popcorn.
Nope.
It's just my name. It doesn't have to be your name. It's my name. He told me his name, and he told me my name's Popcorn.
Kit walks
very
away.
accurate, but all right.
I turned to Bull, and I'm like, I think he likes it.
I think he does too. I just think he's what's the
not
word?
not the name.
Oh, okay.
The dog.
No, not the name.
God.
No, I think he's just he's not very good at showing happiness.
He's not. No,
It
I don't
tends
think
to
I've
happen
ever.
when a lot
I
of
know
fun
his
stuff
name.
happens.
Sorry.
Okay.
Wait,
I
did
just
you
figured
pop
out
back
his
in?
name.
Did you run back over to us? And he was like, I know his name.
I guess Kit could, since I just figured it out. Kit comes back and he's like, he told me his name already.
Oh, wow, you spent 5 seconds with him.
No, he already knows how to speak so much more than you do.
I mean, inherently, you know that's not true. I talk a lot.
Make a persuasion check for me, specifically for Bull.
8.
8. Okay. Bull's kind of intrigued, but not sure if this is bullshit.
Well,
Just
what
saying.
is it?
His name is Hinto.
Hinto? Like Hinto?
Hinto. Hinto.
Hinto.
Hinto.
Hinto was his name. No.
I'm gonna call him Hinto Bean.
No, the Taiylor was just about to make that joke. Oh no!
That's cute. I actually like it. Hinto Bean is adorable.
I was gonna pat him back on the head and go, all right, little Hinto Bean. But no, I'm gonna call him Popcorn. You don't have to call him Popcorn.
Could you not? I don't want him to get confused.
It's just a nickname.
No.
Okay, fine. Fine, Hinto.
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 Hinto. Hinto. What's his name? Oh.
What's his name?
All right. What time is it?
It's
Showtime.
getting to about 8 o'clock now.
Okay. Where are we gonna leave these dogs?
I mean, you can keep them in your cabins, can't you?
Do you have food for them?
I mean, there's food everywhere. We're on a ship. They probably have food.
And Bull speaks up and says, "Well, I kind of know how to set our cabins up so that they'll be safe inside and have everything they need. I just need to make a quick shopping trip if you guys don't mind looking after Charlie."
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure Sylfie would love to look after Charlie.
Yeah, and he.
I would
Charlie in your
love to.
arms.
Yes, I would love to.
Which, Kit, you do notice that Hinto is much smaller than Charlie with the little birthmark on his nose, and also not quite as capable of walking. He's going to take a little bit of work, but he should be okay. But yeah, Bull just sprints off the ship, and he's back in like 20 minutes with a gigantic like basket of stuff he can make. He can use for dog food, and he's bought like 2 pillows to use as beds, and bought a bunch of toys. There's not like dedicated pet shops, so most of what he's got is like bones or carved like bone figures, and he brings those in and he sets up his and Kit's cabin with all the supplies, and gets the dog set up in there and sets up like a little crate so that they have an area where they won't pee everywhere, and yeah. But he puts them both together in Kit's room for now, just so they're not alone.
Okay.
And makes his way back to you guys after getting them settled, and is ready to go as sunset won't be for a little while still. sun probably goes down like 9:30, 10 o'clock at this time of year.
Okay. Even that far north?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah.
Okay. We should probably start staking out where we're going to be.
As you go further north, the days get longer.
Oh, that's
summer.
right. That's right.
Until you get to like the North Pole, where it's never night during the middle of the summer.
Yeah, while you were resting too, I already kind of like cased the joint a little bit.
Okay.
The guy in charge of the blacksmith shop doesn't really care if he gets robbed.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the residents just had like a little halfling girl that came out of it, so
That's weird.
Yeah. There was also, I didn't see any orcs that matched the description that we were looking for, but I did see kind of a shifty looking, he might have been a dragonborn or a lizard folk or just a really tiny dragon. I don't know.
I'm sorry,
like
you
that.
couldn't tell the difference?
I don't know. I looked at it really fast. Don't judge me.
Pretty sure it's not a tiny dragon.
All right. Well, anyway, they were scaly and they were looking at me. Funny.
That's a lot of people. All right. Well, I guess we can go back and take a look or start to hide. Do we know what time he normally hits these places?
Did we get that information?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Let's stop by the wardens real quick and then head over.
Okay.
Well, I think that'll be a good spot to wrap up.
Okay.
And we'll talk a little bit about what each of us do and shamelessly plug.
Yay!
So I'll start off with the actual stream itself. We currently have a YouTube channel set up with the intro video. That is Atlaran Adventure Co. on YouTube, at least I think.
There's a link below. If you click on our logo image, you'll go right there.
Oh.
We have links below here in the stream, and this video will be going up on YouTube as well. We have a Twitter as well, which is at Atlaran ADV also below. Everything's below. Blake's got it handled. Let's see, what else did we have?
We will be setting up the podcast, but we're not, so we'll just have an audio version of this. We're not sure. It should be up by Wednesday. We just don't have the links yet, but I will go ahead and post those on we'll get them posted on all of our social media accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're currently in the process of getting all the podcasty stuff set up, so that'll be coming in the future.
We're doing VOD on YouTube, right?
Yes, I mentioned that.
Oh,
that goes up on Wednesday as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And like I said, the intro video is already up there. And then let's see. I think that's it for the actual channel itself. So Blake, tell us about yourself and what you do and where we can find you.
So I write books, I guess.
We're all writers.
He writes good books that I've read, and they're great.
I've got one book out, another one on the way. So you can find me at blakerwolfe.com. That's Wolfe is WOLFE. So blakerwolfe.com has my newsletter. It's got social media links. It's also got my books listed there. All my handles are Blake R. Wolfe on Instagram and on what's that called? Twitter. And then other than that, I'm also starting a newsletter for free ebooks if people want to sign up, and that's the Fancy Inkwell on Twitter.
All right, Alicia.
I do less than what Blake does. I am also a writer. I do not currently have any works published. I am working on it. So for now, you can just find me at all of my doofy social media accounts. I'm at Weeshface, WEESHFACE, on basically everything. So you can find me on there. I'm also going to be starting a couple of podcasts shortly here. One of them, which actually has an episode in the can that we just have to release, is called Despite All My Rage, a podcast about Nicolas Cage, where my friend and I talk about Nicolas Cage movies.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah. We've had the first episode recorded for a while now. I just need to edit it, and we need to get some more episodes in. But quarantines kind of prevented that. So, yeah. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I feel like you actually had legit things to talk about, and I'm just some sad person.
I just have too many projects and too much time on my hands because I'm stuck in my 600 square foot apartment.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, as for me, I probably have a similar number of projects going as Blake. You can find me on Twitter, Taiylor Wallace, Taiylor. Always spell it wrong, you'll find me right away. And I sort of manage the YouTube stuff. I'll probably be putting out lore videos for the world of Atlaran just for funsies and to catch everybody up with all the crazy references we make. I'm also a writer. Currently don't have anything out, but I have something in the works that I'm hoping to have out before the end of the year. I do edit for Blake. I run Sonder Editing, which you can find at sonderediting.com. That is SONDER. And I do all the art stuff for this stream too, because apparently I'm the artist now.
That's great.
So,
Yeah, you did our...
The maps are great.
We kind of collaborated on the logo, but you've done all the maps, and you finalized the logo, so which looks really, really good.
Yep. This homebrew nonsense is all me. It's kind of ridiculous. But
it's impressive.
Don't give me compliments on stream. I'm awkward. I think that covers most of what we needed to. Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Successful first stream.
I will go ahead and let us out of here, if that's okay.
Thank you, everybody who is watching this or the future VOD or listening to the future podcast. Have a lovely night, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Yep. And next Saturday, 5 p.m. Be there, be square.
Yep.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.